LA, ramdam ko.
Relate ako doon. Sayang yung gamit eh. Pwedeng one session pa, ganun.
Sige, let's go to topic number 3.
Okay.
Topic number 3, ano kaya? Yung hindi naman sana dichotomous, no? Para, syempre minsan, marami tayong options talaga.
Ayan, for this one, if you want to join in the discussion, you can use the chat. How do you draw a star?
Ano yung steps, kumbaga, from what point to the next point, to the next point, hanggang makomplete mo yung star.
Sige, unahin natin si Ma'am Miao ngayon.
Okay.
Bakit ako?
Ayun na,
Nagdodraw na siya, nakita ko eh.
Oo nga eh.
Ako, paano
1-4. 1-4, 1-3, 3-5, 5-2, 2-4.
So, 5 lines.
Wait lang, sabi niya 1-4 tapos 1-3?
Babalik. May
babalik.
1-4, 1-3. May pagbalik ng motion. Ganun.
Gusto mo yung bumabalik. Ganun. I understand.
Iniwan mo na nga yung...
Iniwan mo na, tapos ka na dun na-i-move on mo na, babalik ka.
Baka naman kasi kailangan niya bumalik para maka-move on dun sa next point niya. Huwag ka nga.
Kasi after nun, dire-diretso na.
Yun. Relate ka din kasi ako. Same ako dun sa same ako sa pattern ni Mami Au.
Ako I will start with 5, then 3, 1, 4, 2. 5, 3, 1, 4, 2, 5.
Ay.
5, 3, 1.
Ang talino, isang direction lang.
Yeah.
Oo, hindi ka na pag-aralan yun na.
Kasi ginagawa ko yun sa Elastico dati.
Gets. Oo. Ganun kasi.
Elastico.
Different elementary schools, different stars. Ganun yun.
Totoo. Ikaw, Zar?
Ako naman, 4, 1, 3, 5, 2. Tapos 4.
Okay.
So, kasi moving forward lang. Ganun.
Hindi ka na babalik, Zar. Wala na.
Hindi na. Sulong ng sulong lang. Ganyan. Go, go, go.
Wala nang kailangan balikan, di ba? Pero lagi, kung saan ka nagsimula, kailangan babalikan mo kung ano yung mga experiences mo.
Ganun lang. Reminisce lang. Pero yung balikan mo pa talaga physically.
Wag na.
Sige. Kasi minsan talaga parang, never mind, topic 4 tayo. Mamaya ko na share natin. Ay, ano to?
Wow!
Okay. Let's make the theme work.
Kasi diba, parang dun sa mga previous tama naman yung natin. Tama yung, pare-pareho yung mga sagot natin. Kasi medyo nagkaiba-iba tayo, diba? So, ngayon, let's try to make the theme work. Ano yung words to?
Parang sama-sama tayo eh. Ay, pa-Miss Q&A na ito.
Okay.
How is statistics relevant in the digital age?
Miss Universe, contestant number 1.
Contestant number 1. Ikaw yung host. Ikaw na rin magtawag ng sarili mo.
Kaya mo yan.
I go for ikaw muna, Sir LA. Bilang ikaw yung naunang magsalita eh.
How statistics relevant in the digital age? Well, of course, mas ma-advance sa technology, mas maganda yung statistics na napoproduce natin. On a serious note na ito, So,
yun na eh.
Yung history kasi ng computers, kapag mas maganda yung, mas marami tayong na-analyze, mas marami tayong na-produce na statistics. So, so pag as the digital age evolves, pati na rin yung statistics na.
Sumasama na rin. Nag-a-adapt, nag-responsive sa needs ng why not?
Yeah. This is good for us, yan, yung na yan.
Kasi habang nag-a-advance yung technology, mas marami na tayong opportunities and mas marami na tayong
correct naman.
Yes.
Para ma-produce ng mga stats na to. And actually, to share these statistics also, which are relevant to all people.
Totoo. Mami Au, any wise words parang from a former pageant queen?
Oo. Yeah. Prepared.
Yeah, start with I believe. Sorry, start with I believe.
I believe. No. As what Sir LA has mentioned, with digital age, nagpo-produce na din tayo ng masyadong maraming data, right? So, I think what better way to get information sa data na na-produce natin by using statistics, yung mga tawag dito. So I think since nagpo-produce tayo ng more data, mas nagiging relevant ang statistics, right, sa digital age. So yeah, basically the same thing as what Sir LA said.
Nag-given na nandito tayo sa talagang era of information, communication technology, di ba? Mag-adapt din.
This is our money. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, and at the same time, parang habang kino-consider natin yung relevance niya, the digital age, kasi na-recognize natin na posibleng meron na disenfranchise. So,
Yun lang.
topic number 4 goes hand in hand with topic number 5, which is
what?
How do we leave no one behind? So yun nga, with all of these advancements, how do we make sure that really no one gets left behind?
I see.
What do you think?
So we need to, for me, we need to count everyone.
Count everyone in.
So everyone counts, parang ganun. So that's why we, yung voice ng bawat isa, kailangan natin, something like that, diba? So as much as we represent them, as much as possible, as close sa kanilang gustong
Yeah, I see. I agree.
Yeah.
Parang kaninang plenary session, no, na gender statistics matter. The different sectoral statistics matter. Binibigyan natin ng voice, ng data. Okay. I also agree.
Yeah. Actually, it's no one, like no one, something like that, right?
No one, ganyan. Make way. Sorry.
Sana hindi po tayo ma-copyright.
Oo nga.
No, but yeah, in all seriousness, regardless of race, regardless of gender, actually being able to identify these sectors, that's a very important aspect, and actually making them count.
And giving them the spotlight. Yun. Not only in Zoom, but in society.
All right. Any last words for our viewers?
Before we resume with our program.
Okay.
Any last words?
Any last words? So, I guess, ano ba, seryoso na last words?
Ay, ayun na. Last words sa kanya.
Last words sa kanya pala. Ayun, well, hopefully, na with what yung mga naging diskusyonan natin today, though hindi natin narinig yung mga sentiments ng ating ng ating mga attendees, hopefully ay napaisip-isip din sila regarding the relevance of statistics sa digital age, and through their, kasi most ng ating mga attendees are from the academe, so mga research institutes, na makagawa sila ng paraan in a way na no one will really be left behind.
Correct.
No?
Yeah, okay. And for me, I think I will voice out yung mga nasa chat natin. So, may mga nagsabi from Sir Paul Vincent, topic bisig para no one is behind. So that's right. And other one is, I believe, sabi ni Ma'am Jenny Fernandez, I believe using statistics, we could relay data in a way reaching out everyone and one. So, yeah, that's so using statistics para may-relay natin yung information to everyone so that no one will be left behind.
And we all got to start somewhere naman eh. We have to give that spark, diba? That's the start.
Yeah. And I think this conference is one avenue that we can do that. That we're starting the conversations about it.
Correct.
Yes. Yeah. So with that, to all the viewers.
Ang bitin. Nabitin ako.
Oo nga, okay lang yan. Pwede pa rin tayo mag-continue ng conversations. If
Yun naman yung
thoughts,
goal.
pwede nyo sagutin yung mga yun sa Flipgrid. So
Di ba nga, explore, engage, experience.
Yes.
Yun.
Okay. With that po, Gian and I will be leaving you in capable hands.
Yes.
So your hosts for this afternoon are Ma'am
Panatag ang loob
Sir LA.
namin.
Oo, panatag ang loob namin na dadalhin talaga natin ito sa ano.
Hindi na tayo babalik, Zar, di ba? Hindi na pagbabalik. Tama ba?
Ay! Wait!
may kumukontra. Okay, time end na po.
Alright, thank you, Ma'am Gian. Ma'am Gian, thank you, Sir Gian.
Why not?
Thank you, Sir Gian and Ma'am Zar.
Nagmamadali tayo eh. Ma'am Zar, Sir Gian na yun.
Thank you, everyone. Ayun.
Thank you also.
Thank you. Alright, Sir LA, magtatrabaho na tayo.
The program in a while.
Hello po. So welcome, everyone. Ready na ba tayo mag-start for the last afternoon session, okay, of this faculty-student conference. Okay. All right, Sir Ale, I think we're ready.
Yeah.
All right. So, Once again, hello everyone. Sana naging masarap po ang ulam ninyo sa lunch at na-enjoy ninyo ang aming very short but madami tayong nakuhang mga diskusyunan, lunchtime chikahan with Ma'am Zar and Sir Gian. Alright? So, you might be wondering bakit sila nagsi-exit bilang sila naman talagang original host. Na-realize kasi po ng mga organizers na this conference needs new faces, fresh faces. Charot lang. Right? So from here on out, Sir LA and I will be taking over as your MCs for this afternoon. So once again, I am Miao from the UPLB Institute of Statistics, and here with me is my partner for this afternoon, Sir LA. Hi, Sir LA.
Hello everyone. Good afternoon po.
Ayun. So, Sir LA, I believe we still have some exciting talks prepared for this afternoon's plenary session. Tama po ba?
Yes. Okay, that's correct, Mami Al. So we still have two distinguished speakers this afternoon. So I guess we should get started. Okay?
Yes.
Is everyone ready?
I think everyone's ready.
All right, let's begin. So let me introduce the plenary moderator for this afternoon's session. Okay. He is an associate professor of statistics at the Institute of Statistics, University of the Philippines, Los Baños. He obtained his bachelor and master's degree in statistics from UPLB Institute of Statistics in 2011 and 2018 respectively. His areas of work include monitoring and impact evaluation of projects and programs, designing and analyzing data from small-scale and large-scale social and biological surveys, designing experiment and analyzing data in biological and social research, statistical data management, and program development using various analytics software, predictive analytics research, and market research. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome our plenary moderator, Professor Rocky Tranate Marcelino.
Hello, good afternoon. Am I clear, Ma'am Miao and Sir LA?
Yes po, sir. Loud.
Okay, good afternoon. Thank you very much for the introduction. So I am very much thrilled when I received actually the invitation to become the plenary moderator, because the two distinguished speakers that I'll be facilitating the talks are very much close to my heart. First of all, of course, Dr. Umbao was a visiting professor at INSTAT when I was just a new faculty member at the Institute. And of course, Ma'am Josie Almeida of PSRTI has been very supportive about the research and trainings that we have been engaged with. All right, so this will be the last plenary session for this year's Faculty Student Conference on Statistical Sciences, but definitely we saved the best for last. So to begin with, we will have again two speakers. Next slide, please. So this plenary session will have two speakers. We have first from Dr. Hernando Umbao, exploring dependence in multivariate time series. And of course, we have from Executive Director, Dr. Josefina Almeida, the research and training for the monitoring of the Sustainable Development Goals to be delivered later. And I'll be introducing properly each distinguished speaker. Next slide, please. So in order for us to be more organized in terms of our plenary session, each participant can ask the question via the QA chat box. All questions will be addressed to the speakers during the QA portion after all the plenary talks. The participants are requested to use the following format when asking: the name, university, and the question you want to ask. But we have a unique setup for this session because personally, I know Dr. Umbao is very much open to an interactive discussion. So anytime that you have a question, feel free to type it in the QA panel or in the chat box. And also you can raise your hand because really Dr. Umbao wants to have a good interaction during his discussion in this plenary session. And definitely we'll still have the general open forum after the two talks were delivered. All right, so we move forward now to the next slide. Formally, so let me begin without further ado the talks for this session. So let me first introduce our first speaker. So our first speaker is a professor at the King Abdullah University of Science and Technology or KUST, and currently chair of the statistics program. He is the principal investigator of the Biostatistics Research Group. He received his PhD degree in Bachelor of Science degree in Statistics at the University of California, Davis, and Bachelor of Science in degree in Mathematics from the University of the Philippines, Diliman. His research is on statistical models for time series with dynamic and complex structures. Prior to joining KUST, he was a faculty member at UC Irvine, Brown University, University of Illinois, and the University of Pittsburgh. At UC Irvine, he was a recipient of the Mid-Career Distinguished Research Award. He is also a co-editor of the Handbook of Statistical Methods for Neuroimaging. He was the principal investigator of several US NSF awards. He is also a fellow of the American Statistical Association, or ASA. He serves as the community as associate editor of statistics journals, the Metron, JASA, JRSSB, CSDA, and as a permanent member of the NIH BMR-D study section. He's a founding member and previous chair of the Statistics in Imaging section of the ASA. And most importantly, he's a proud Ilonggo and a father to, he's currently residing, of course, in Saudi Arabia. So again, ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome Dr. Hernando Ombao. Sir.
Rocky, many thanks for the very nice introduction. It's good to see you again, and it's my pleasure to be here. Thank you for the invitation. Thanks, Iris and Arniel, for facilitating this. So, magandang hapon, tanghali, mayong hapon sa inyong tanan. Greetings from Saudi Arabia. So today I'll give an overview about my research. About the work we have here at KAUST, especially in my group, and I'll try to interject the paths along the way to reach this point. So as Rocky has already said, I'm very open to be interrupted anytime. So I'll take a good look at the chat box in case kung may mga tanong yung mga attendees there, don't hesitate. Or you can also feel free to unmute yourselves and then just speak out. Okay, so in this COVID-19 setting, for me, one of the most frustrating aspects of being a professor and delivering a lecture is that I don't see the immediate feedback from the listeners. So minsan hindi ko alam kung ako ba naintindihan or kung ano yung malabong sinabi ko kasi hindi ko nakikita na minsan yung mga mukha yung nakasimangot na dahil di nila maintindihan. So yun yung this is the most frustrating thing, but given the situation, we'll try to make the most of what we have. So I guess I can share my screen now, right? So I'll share my screen. Does everybody see my my slides? So I'm assuming yes.
Yes po. Yes po.
Hindi ko na ilalagay yung full view mode kasi minsan nasisira yung may setting issues, and so hopefully this is fine for everyone. So the title of my talk is a little bit different from what was stated in the abstract, but this is a bit more specific for brain signals. But the main idea is the same. It's modeling dependence in multivariate time series, modeling how activity in one part of the brain can impact activity on another. So similarly, modeling how the economy in one part of the country can impact the economies on other regions of a country, or how one country's economy can impact the economy of the other countries on the globe. So very similar idea. Instead of looking at the globe, we look at the brain in this setting. Okay, so my team at KAUST, these are some of the members that have been involved, have contributed to this research. And so one thing that I tell students, and that is that we're actively recruiting new PhD students, new postdocs to come to our group. And unlike many programs in the US, our program here is a very, very diverse. When I was in the US, almost all of my students come from China. And then one from Vietnam, and then one from Mexico. Pero sa may CAUS, we're a bit international. We have students from Poland, from Brazil, from Russia, from the US, from France, Morocco, you name it. So hopefully, and then we have one from the Philippines. She's not in my group, but she's from Ateneo originally, and she's a PhD student here, and she's doing really well. So ito yung framework ng trabaho namin. No, so think about, we have a multivariate time series XT, and this is a time series that's collected over many points in space. In this particular example, these points refer to brain regions. So meron ka network of time series, and one of our first major goals is to find ways to describe dependence. So here we have to construct sometimes novel ideas, novel concepts that describe dependence in much more general terms, rather than just a simple covariance or cross correlation. So this is our main task. And the other is that very often our networks are very high dimensional. So you have many locations on the brain from which you record these signals. And for fMRI, for functional magnetic resonance imaging data, that dimensionality goes to 100,000 or even more. For electroencephalograms, this will be my examples for this talk, yung dimension ay umaabot ng 256. So that's pretty high dimensional, and the fact too that the time series length can go from millions to hundreds of millions. So one of the key goals is, how do we extract summaries from these high dimensional networks, so that these summaries are low dimensional representations, meaning they can explain a lot of what's going on in the entire high dimensional process. Now, our next goal, which I'll cover here as well, is that of spectral causality, which is that, we've heard of the term Granger causality, which very broadly means that X1, Granger causes X2 if the current observation of X1 can help predict the future observation of X2. Meaning X1 is a useful predictor of future activity in another time series. But here, we'd like to dig a little bit deeper and ask ourselves, if X1 Granger causes X2, we want to be able to identify the oscillations that drive that causality. So we think about signals, we think about time series as the compositions of different kinds of waveforms. I'll go over that in a minute. So ito yung next namin na goal is to describe spectral causality, or causality in terms of oscillations of signals. And then finally, one of our goals is real-time tracking of dependence. So instead of collecting the entire data and then stopping the experiment and then retrospectively describe what happened during the experiment, so you compute the time varying dependence and so on, what we'd like to do is be able to track dependence on real time. So habang nag-experiment pa sa animals or sa humans, we'd like to be able to track dependence. We'd like to be able to see how different parts of the brain are communicating with each other during the experiment itself. So I'll give an example of a working software that our group is developing. So I talked about dependence, and the most common measure of dependence is correlation. Okay? So very simply, if I have a three-dimensional time series X1, X2, and X3, then often we like to look at what is the correlation between X1 and X2. Okay? Ano ba yung association, linear association ng X1 and X2? We also look at partial correlation. So kung meron kang X1, X2, and X3, so if you look at this particular line here, we'd like to see how the past of X3 can influence the entire distribution of X1. Kung meron bang shock sa may X3, ano mangyayari ngayon sa X1 at a future time point? The same thing, kung merong shock sa X3, ano mangyayari sa distribution ng X2 at a future time point? Yung ibang effect sa distribution, is there going to be a shift in the mean? Will there be a shift? Will there be a compression in the distribution, or meaning yung variance ba liliit, contraction, or yung variance ba magiging mas malaki? So there will be much more uncertainty when it comes to X2. Ngayon, in addition to looking at the effect on marginal of X1 and X2, we also want to see kung yung shock sa X3, anong impact nito sa relationship between X1 and X2. So for example, if there is a shock in one country, let's say China, what is the impact of that on the relationship between the US and Mexico, for example? Okay? So ngayon, yun ang, when we say partial correlation, then we're looking at the relationship between X1 and X2, but you have to correct for the effect of X3. Okay, so let's continue. And as I said, please feel free to interrupt me if you have any questions. Okay. So the next point is that I'd like to focus on the limitations of correlation. Okay, so correlations are quite popular because they're easy to compute, they're easy to understand, but at the same time, because of its simplicity, it has its cons, right? So yung advantages ay madaling i-compute, madaling intindihin, pero marami siyang mga limitations. So if I look at this particular example where I have X1 and X2, these are my random variables, and each one of them has mean zero and unit variance, then the correlation between X1 and X2 is simply the expectation of the product of the random variable X1 and X2. And so this expectation is a weighted average of all products X1 and X2 weighted by the joint density F of X1 and X2, and it's averaged over the entire Euclidean space. So ito yung definition ng correlation in this very specific simplified setting. Now, my first point is that characterization of dependence ought to be broader, and it should include more general functionals. So I write D12 here as the dependence between X1 and X2, and I would define that as the expectation of some functional of X1 and X2. Okay. And correlation, in fact, is a specific functional where G of X1 and X2 is the product of X1 and X2. Okay? So correlation is a very specific form, but perhaps one should look at more general functionals because the dependence between X1 and X2 may not be completely characterized simply by the product of X1 and X2. There may be other functionals that may describe it. So that's the first limitation of correlation. The second is that dependence ought to capture the variation over the entire domain. Okay, so if you look back to my definition here, correlation is in fact the weighted average of the product of X1 and X2 with weights equal to the joint density, and it's weighted across the entire Euclidean space. So my point here is that this correlation or this dependence may vary depending on where X1 and X2 lie in the entire domain, in the entire space. And so therefore, one should look at a localized form of dependence, so D12, as a function of S. And so here, S may be described as the center of the distribution, the upper tail or the lower tail, and so on. So therefore, when I think about this dependence, I want to see how X1 and X2 may be related when they're both very large values, meaning they're both on the upper tail, or when they're both in the lower tail, meaning when they're both very low values, or when they're in the center of the distribution, because that dependence may change over the entire domain. And so it's important for us to capture that variation. So ito yung mga limitations ng correlation. And I mean, we all know in statistics that a correlation is step one, step zero towards characterizing the dependence in a pair or a network of random variables. But that's not the end of it. Okay? So one of the things we're working on with the group is that of looking at extreme behavior. So yung kung may extreme behavior sa X1, meaning if an X1 all of a sudden may spike, ano yung mga impact nito sa X2, and so on and so forth. So I already gave a picture of that, and I gave an example of that. Here is a picture. So think about, these are the 5 points in space. So you have 4 blue dots and 1 red dot. The red dot is a reference, the reference point. And what we'd like to study here is the relationship between those 4 dots, those 4 points in space, and how that relationship may in fact be governed by the distribution of the red dot. Okay, so itong time series na ito yung time series sa red dot, and during this, I hope you're seeing my cursor. So during this time block, there's low amplitude, meaning low variance. During this time block, you have very high amplitude, so high variability in the reference channel. And then over here, you have moderate variability or moderate amplitude during the latter part of the time series. And depending on the values of the reference channel, the dependence between those 4 blue channels can also change. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to work on with my student Mateus Guerrero and my colleague Raffle Huser. So, but for this talk, I'd like to give a very broad overview about characterizing dependence in time series using different oscillations. Okay, so you know what? I actually teach a course on spectral analysis for it is a I would say a 15-week course, and we'll try to condense that in I would say just 10 minutes or so. So I'll go very fast, but I hope that the cartoons, the picture here will give the listeners an idea about a broad picture about what we're trying to do. Okay? So I have 2 time series, X1 and X2. Okay? So these are in fact our brain signals coming from a monkey. So we have X1 and X2. These are the 2 brain signals, and we want to model the dependence between X1 and X2. Meaning, do changes in X1 are they associated with fluctuations in X2? So one way to deal with that is to decompose these 2 signals into low, middle, all the way to high frequency waveforms. Okay? So we in spectral analysis, if we have a stationary time series, and we can decompose that in terms of different sines and cosines. So here I talk about these different waveforms. If a time series is non-stationary, they can still be decomposed here, but then the amplitudes can vary over time. Okay? So for now, let's not worry about non-stationarity. And if you wanted to understand dependence between X1 and X2, let's say X1 and X2 are highly correlated. So that's an important information. But then it's an incomplete characterization of dependence, because if they are indeed highly correlated, the next natural question is, I'd like to identify the frequency bands that drive that correlation. Okay? So you want to understand kung yung dependence ba between X1 and X2, is that driven by low frequencies or high frequencies? So ito yung this is what coherence is trying to address. Okay? Frequency specific dependence characterization between a pair of time series. So I'll just give in a very rough justification for that. So we can have a Cromero representation of a time series. So if I have X1, I can decompose that in terms of different oscillations. So you have low, middle, high frequencies. The same thing with X2. And if I want to model dependence between X1 and X2, then I model dependence between the sum of X1 and X2, meaning the dependence between each of these components. Okay? So this is the essence. And in fact, under stationarity, the covariances only depend on, they're non-zero, in fact, when the frequency oscillations have the same frequency characteristics. Okay? Otherwise, they're uncorrelated. So the point here is this decomposition. Yung covariance between X1 and X2 can be decomposed as the covariance. The covariance between X1 and X2 is equal to the covariance between the delta of X1 and the delta of X2 plus the covariance between the theta of X1 and the theta of X2, so on and so forth. Okay? So that's the decomposition. And this is quite important, because if the covariance between X1 and X2 is high in magnitude, then you want to be able to identify what is the frequency band that contributed the most to that covariance. And conversely, if the covariance is 0, it may be the case, in fact, that the covariances for different frequency oscillations are not zero. There may be a cancellation of positive and negative. And so therefore, one has to be very careful when it comes to the interpretation of these covariances, that there may be dependencies in other form. So that is the precise limitation of covariance and correlation. Okay, so in the interest of time, I'll skip through this, and I go now to dual frequency coherence. Okay? With dual frequency coherence, we want to understand the dependencies between, let's say, the alpha oscillation in one time series. So this is the middle frequency oscillations in one time series with the high frequency oscillation in another time series. Yung classical coherence, parehong frequency band yon, delta with delta, theta with theta, and so on. But once you leave the realm of stationarity, then you have to be prepared to characterize potential differences in potential covariances across different frequency oscillations. So this is another type of dependence, which is the dual frequency coherence. Dual because, as you can see, potentially two different frequency bands. Okay? Yung contribution namin in this realm is that the dependency, let's say, between alpha and beta or alpha and gamma may evolve over time. It's possible na sa beginning of time, they may be strongly dependent, and then as time progresses, that dependency can weaken. And so we proposed, we defined the concept of an evolutionary dual frequency coherence. And we have a paper on that I'd be happy to share to folks if they're interested. Okay? Ngayon, we go now into spectral causality. And with spectral causality, we'd like to be able to identify precise lead-lag dependence between the different frequency oscillations. So, so how we do that, if I go back to this picture, okay, here, suppose, for example, that I want to track the delta component of one time series, and I want to be able to look at how the delta component in one particular time point, how that might be explained by the alpha and beta, its own alpha and beta present and past, as well as the delta, alpha, and beta of other time series present and past. Okay? So for now, let's exclude the present because we want to model just causality. And so we want to explain variation in the delta component at a current time point and how that may be influenced by the alpha, beta components in the past time points for the same time series and for the other time series. So what we did was we simply developed what we call the spectral vector autoregressive model. Okay? So I think that most of you will already have an idea about this. So it's really, you concatenate many of these spectral oscillations into one big vector, and then now you examine one by one the impact of different oscillations on the current one that you're interested in. And under the Granger causality framework, if the VAR coefficient is significantly different from zero, then you assign causality of that particular oscillation on the, let's say, the alpha band. Okay? So I will skip this, but Dr. Iris Gauran has my slides, and you should feel free to reach out to her if you're interested in obtaining a copy of the slides. Okay? So next is sometimes the dependency between oscillations may not be linear. And so here is an example of that. Okay? Suppose that I have both low frequency and high frequency components. And you'll see in this cartoon that whenever the low frequency component reaches its peak, the amplitude of the high frequency oscillation also increases. It's activated. Okay? However, when it dips down, then the amplitude is also low. Okay? So I see one question in. Okay. Yes. So to Jenny Fernandez, yes to your question. We will reach out to each other. Okay, I'll take note of that. So ngayon kita niyo na sa low frequency component, pag naka-reach ng maximum o pag pataas yung trajectory ng low frequency component, na-activate yung high frequency component. Okay? So this is a highly nonlinear characterization of dependence. And so in this case, we have to go beyond the usual correlation. And one of the things that we're doing is we have this spectral amplitude vector autoregressive model, and we're using generalized additive models to guide us in this realm. So it's a bit beyond just the simple correlation. So next is I go now to I want to illustrate this online estimation of dependence, and via this example. So this is with a collaborator from the EPFL in Lausanne in Switzerland, and their project is about modeling the spontaneous creativity in humans through their electroencephalograms. And so here you will see that there are two pianists, and these two pianists, they know each other. They're not strangers to each other, so they already know each other. Now, on this particular moment, they were asked to create a piece, but this piece is based only on 4 musical notes, and they don't know the musical notes at that point. So ang ginawa ng experimenter is gumawa siya ng may bowl, and then in a bowl there are pieces of paper, and every piece of paper andun yung musical note, and then they select randomly 4 of those notes. Okay? So ngayon na yung 4 notes nakuha na nila, then they have to make music out of those 4 notes. So you see there's spontaneous creativity. And so wala silang planning, there's no advanced planning on how to create music. So ang nangyayari one person listens to the other, and then pag tugtog ng isa, tugtog naman yung isa, So this is like So think about, you have a friend, and now you have to talk with each other, and you're limited to using only 10 words. Okay, so what would those 10 words be, and how would you communicate with each other through those 10 words if you want to get your point across? So ito ay 4 musical notes. So let's take a look at the experiment. Okay. So now in this video you'll see that habang natutugtog sila ng piece nila, okay, at the background, yung collaborator ko was able to create a software that actually links the brain signal between 2 people. And pero yung ginamit niya is very simple correlation. And so we told him, that you're dealing with musical notes, and a lot of musical notes, in fact, are simply sines and cosines of some form. And moreover, these sines and cosines that they hear may in fact influence their brain signals, and vice versa. The presence of sines and cosines of a particular frequency might also influence what kind of music they play. So may feedback mechanism, but what you want to do here is to be able to track dependence in brain signals as defined by what I described, spectral approaches through oscillations, and be able to do this in a semi-online manner. Semi-online kasi hindi naman kaagad-agad eh. So here there's a delay of about 100 milliseconds. Okay, to my mind that's sufficiently fast. But let's finish this experiment in this video. Okay, so tutugtog ng piano, andun yung EEG, they're being recorded, and then as they're being recorded in a semi-online manner, the brain connectivities between 2 people are also being connected, are being computed. Pero yung ginawa namin is something that's a bit more general, in the sense na we looked at different types of frequency components. And then so as a signal is being recorded, we're looking at for now connectivity within a particular subject. And as you can see, there's arrows pointing from one direction to another. Certain arrows have yung edges ay makapal, iba naman manipis. So this one denotes the strength of that dependence. Okay, so the thinner lines mean that the coherence or dual frequency coherence or whatever measure we use, in fact, is low in magnitude. Otherwise, pag makapal, you have these wide edges, it means na stronger yung level of dependence. Okay, so this is a real-time connectivity analysis. Okay? So hopefully, when we attract students to come to CAUS, some of them will be engaged to work along these lines. Okay? So just to summarize here, we talked about the causality, we talked about dependence between brain signals through different oscillations. And we have a lot of work that we still need to do. We're simply scratching the surface. And I'd like to thank Professor Barrios and Dr. Gauran again for the invitation, and UP School of Statistics. So here, I apologize for my kulang yung aking acknowledgements also to UP Instat, DLSU, and CLSU. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sir Ombao, for that interesting talk and sharing about what your group at CAUST is doing. So it's very interesting, especially the applications of your work in multidimensional time series data and simultaneous systems of stochastic processes. So it's very interesting. So anyway, I think some of the participants will have questions and they're still processing about the applications of what we just shared. So in the meantime, we'll be proceeding with the session, the next important talk as well, to be delivered to us by no less than the Executive Director of the Philippine Statistical Research and Training Institute. So let me formally introduce our next distinguished speaker. So our next speaker is the Head of Agency and Executive Director 3 of the Philippine Statistical Research and Training Institute, PSRTI, since August 2017. She received her PhD degree in education with specialization in research and evaluation at the University of the Philippines, Diliman. She completed her master's and bachelor's degree in statistics at the School of Statistics, also at UP Diliman. Prior to her assignment as ED, she is a faculty of the UP School of Statistics since 1985, where she held numerous positions in the school, such as college secretary from 1988 to 2003, and from 2008 to 2017. She also served as director for undergraduate studies from 2006 to 2008. In 2009, she was awarded the President's Award for Innovation in Teaching at the University of the Philippines, Diliman. She also served as a resource person to various statistical courses at the Statistics Research and Training Center, now PSRTI. She is a technical consultant for statistical projects of several international and local organizations. Also, she is a recipient of numerous grants and awards from Philippine Statistical Association, Fajardo Foundation, Department of Science and Technology, and the University of the Philippines. She has been involved in local and international fora and conferences in statistics where she was a paper presenter, discussant, or the main facilitator. Again, everyone, let us welcome the beautiful Executive Director of the PSRTI, Dr. Josefina V. Almeda. Ma'am Josie.
Okay, thank you very much, Rocky, for the very kind words. Okay, so let me share my screen. Ganyan. Hindi ko na move. Okay, for a while. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Not yet po, ma'am.
Not yet. Okay, for a while. Where am I? Wait, share computer sound. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So again, good afternoon, everyone. It is my pleasure to share with you the role of research and training in the monitoring of the Sustainable Development Goals. In this presentation, the research and capacity building initiatives of the country through the leadership of the Philippine Statistical Research and Training Institute in monitoring the SDGs will be discussed. And I hope that in this presentation, I will be able to spark the interest of the academe to engage and participate in the SDG activities of the country. So for the outline of my presentation, I will be discussing some background of the SDGs, the Philippines' commitment to achieve the SDG goals, SDG monitoring of the Philippine statistical system, capacity building activities as part of the Sdg localization, and research on Sdg indicators. Now, let me give you a brief background on how the SDG started. Actually, in September 25, 2015, 193 countries, including the Philippines, signed the 2030 Agenda of the Sustainable Development. And this is to affirm the commitments of the different countries towards what? Ending all forms of poverty, fighting inequalities, increasing countries' productive capacity, increasing social inclusion, curbing climate change, and protecting the environment. So basically, what is the goal of the Sustainable Development Goals, right? Actually, it is to leave no one behind. So when I learned about the theme or the topic of interest of the Faculty Student Conference, which is Statistics in the Digital Age, Leaving No One Behind, I said to myself, this is the most appropriate time. Okay, why? Because we need now the different statistical tools and methodologies to help in measuring the different SDG indicators. And I hope that the academe can actually help in the SDG monitoring. So the SDG indicator framework actually has 17 SDGs, 169 targets, and 232 unique global indicators. And the purpose why this was developed is to be able to follow up and review the progress of the different countries. This actually aims to stimulate people-centered and planet-sensitive change for us to be able to have prosperity, peace, and partnership. So it promotes collaboration between all countries and all stakeholders. Now, the Philippines actually has expressed its commitment to achieve the SDG by 2030, and I would like to share a short clip regarding this.
Kinakailangan tayo ang henerasyon na magwawakas sa matinding kahirapan.
Tayo
ang henerasyon
na pinakapursigidong
Labanan
ang kawalan ng hustisya
at hindi pagkakapantay-pantay.
at ang henerasyon
na siyang susugpo sa climate change.
at ito ang gagawin natin.
Ang Sustainable Development Goals.
15 taong plano para sa ating lahat.
Sa bawat sulok ng mundo,
Wala tayong iiwanan.
Mamumuhay tayo sa isang mundong walang sinuman ang dumaranas.
Mamumuhay tayo sa isang mundo kung saan
walang nagugutom at gumigising sa umagang nagtatanong,
May kakainin ba yun?
Mamumuhay tayo sa isang mundo kung saan walang taong namamatay
sa sakit na may lunas.
At kung saan
Ang tamang pangangalaga
Ng kalusugan ay panghabang buhay.
ang karapatan ng lahat.
Mamumuhay tayo sa isang mundo kung saan lahat ay nakakapag-aral
At nabibigyan ng sapat na kaalaman.
At kasanayan
para sa isang masaganang buhay.
Mamumuhay tayo sa isang mundo kung saan lahat ng kababaihan
At lahat ng batang babae
ay may patas na oportunidad
upang umunlad.
maging matibay at ligtas.
Hindi tayo magtatagumpay
Kung kalahati ng mundo
ay naiiwanan.
Mamumuhay tayo sa isang mundo kung saan
lahat ay mayroong malinis na tubig
at maayos na palikuran
sa bahay,
at sa trabaho.
Mamumuhay tayo sa isang mundong
Sapat na enerhiya para sa lahat.
Init, ilaw at
kuryente na hindi sumisira sa mundo.
sa isang mundong umuunlad
ang mga ekonomiya
at ang kayamanang tinatamasa.
Ay siya rin magbibigay
Ang desenteng trabaho para sa lahat.
Sa isang mundo kung saan ang ating
mga industriya
infrastruktura
at pinakamahusay na inobasyon
Hindi lamang ginagamit upang magpayaman,
kundi paano maiangat ang buhay nating lahat.
Mamumuhay tayo sa isang mundong walang diskriminasyon at labis na di pagkakapantay-pantay.
Sa loob ng ating bansa,
sa pagitan ng mga bansa.
Mamumuhay tayo sa isang mundo kung saan
ang lungsod at komunidad ay ligtas,
maunlad at sumusuporta sa mga naninirahan dito.
Mamumuhay tayo sa isang mundo kung saan ibinabalik natin
ang ating kinuha sa inang kalikasan.
Mamumuhay tayo sa isang mundong desididong sumpuin
ang banta ng climate change.
Mamumuhay tayo sa isang mundo
kung saan pinangangalagaan natin ang ating mga karagatan. Mamumuhay tayo sa isang mundo kung saan pinangangalagaan natin ang buhay sa kalupaan,
Mga katubatan, mga hayop,
Ang kabuuan ng ating daigdig.
Mamumuhay tayo sa isang mundo kung saan may kapayapaan sa bansa,
kung saan ang lahat ng pamahalaan ay may pananagutan.
At isang mundo kung saan mamamayani ang hustisya at bawat isa ay pantay sa harap ng batas.
At tayo ay dapat mamuhay sa isang mundo kung saan ang lahat ng bansa
at ang kanilang mga mamamayan
ay magtutulungan upang isakatuparan ang Sustainable Development Goals
sa lahat ng mga tao at sa lahat ng sulok ng mundo.
Ito ang United Nations Sustainable Development Goals.
Tayo na't kumilos.
Sabay-sabay natin isakatuparan ito.
Para sa atin,
Upang walang maiiwanan.
Ito ang United Nations Sustainable Development
Okay, so I hope with that, you now have a clearer understanding of the Sustainable Development Goals. Okay, let us continue now. So in line with the Philippines' commitment, okay, in achieving the global goals, the SDGs are aligned to the national government, okay, development agenda as embodied in the Philippine Development Plan. So the Philippine Development Plan is actually a 5-year plan, and this is from 2017 to 2022. And the Philippine Development Plan, or PDP, integrates the present long-term vision of the Filipinos or the Filipino family for a strongly rooted, comfortable, and secure life for all. So the SDGs need to be achieved by 2030, but the Philippines also has a long-term goal. And this is what we call the Ambisyon Natin 2040, wherein we want all families to have a matatag, maginhawa, at panatag na buhay. Now, regarding the SDG monitoring of the Philippine Statistical System, the PSA Board, Philippine Statistics Authority, okay, which is the highest policy-making body of the Philippine Statistical System, issued a resolution. And this is to provide the necessary data support to monitor the country's performance vis-a-vis the SDGs based on the indicator framework that shall be determined by NEDA, the National Economic Development Authority, PSA, the Philippine Statistics Authority, and other government agencies. So in this resolution, PSA serves as the repository of the SDG indicators of the Philippines, while NEDA, okay, is in charge of addressing the data gaps in cracking the UN SDG process. So actually, both PSA and NEDA, they both have websites wherein you can check the accomplishments of our SDGs. Now, in monitoring of the SDG, as I have mentioned, it is NEDA and PSA who takes the leadership, okay? So initially, the SDG indicators were reviewed through what? Multi-sectoral and technical workshops. And the indicators were classified as Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3. So when we talk about Tier 1 indicators, this means that these are indicators with established methodology and the data are regularly collected. Tier 2 indicators, there is also an established methodology, but the data are not regularly collected. How about Year 3? There is no established methodology and thus no data collected. Okay, so from this, the initial monitoring system includes 155 indicators. So take note, how many indicators do we have in the SDG? We have 267. But the Philippines is just monitoring 155 indicators. And out of the 169 targets, we are only monitoring 97. So 102 of these are Tier 1 indicators, and these are all in line with United Nations standards, and 53 are either proxy or supplemental. Now, despite the achievements of the Philippine statistical system in monitoring the SDG, it still faces a number of challenges. It has been recognized by other countries that SDG achievement at the national level strongly depends on the progress made at the local level. However, the issue of localizing the SDGs is a big one. Also, the indicator system is not able to monitor yet. How many? 72 targets, okay? And 130 indicators remain in the Tier 2 and Tier 3. And since most of our indicators are disaggregated only by sex, okay, this is not possible as the UN requires that SDG indicators are disaggregated not only by sex but also by age, by location, by IPs, by PWDs. So we still do not have all of this. So with that, okay, this is where the capacity building and research come in. And through the leadership of the Philippine Statistical Research and Training Institute, the Philippine Statistical System has been conducting SDG trainings and research to support the improvement of the SDG monitoring system in the country. Now, PSRTI, the Philippine Statistical Research and Training Institute, has actually the mandate to conduct high-quality statistical research and training to the Philippine statistical system. When I talk about the Philippine statistical system, this involves all government agencies, from the local government units up to the national government agencies. And whenever they do data collection, data processing, data analysis, and those coming up with programs and policies that will benefit the Filipino people, then these are all in the Philippine statistical system. So PSRTI actually conducts the capacity building as well as researches to the Philippine statistical system. Now, for the Philippine statistical system to be ready and to meet the challenges of achieving the SDGs by 2030, the PSRTI actually has a 5-year research and training program for the Philippine statistical system to measure the Sustainable Development Goals. And these are on capacity building of the local government units on SDG monitoring and studies to generate recommendations on improving the tier classifications of the indicators. Now, as we have mentioned, it is necessary that we localize the SDG indicators. And one way of doing this is through capacity building. So basically, when we talk about localization, this is important because we don't want to achieve only the SDG indicators in the national level. It needs to be achieved both in the national level as well as in the sub-national level. Okay? So SDG localization is actually critical for achieving the sustainable development by 2030 because the SDG agenda may not be fully achieved without the involvement of the urban, rural, and local actors. So what do we mean by SDG localization. This means integrating the SDGs into the mandates of local government units. It is the process of adapting, implementing, and monitoring the SDGs at the local level. Okay? And this is also the process by which local authorities and local stakeholders will adopt and implement these targets within cities and municipalities. Okay? So basically, as I mentioned, SDG localization is very critical. Okay? We need to achieve the SDG goals in the national and in the subnational levels. Now, PSRTI actually developed a training program. And to achieve this, okay, this involved the collaboration with different agencies. The ILG, the Department of Interior and Local Government, NEDA, the National Economic Development Authority, PSA, the Philippine Statistics Authority, and all local government units, okay? And we adapted and advocated the SDGs at the local level, and the purpose of which is actually to capacitate the local government units on the statistical work on the SDG. Now, another purpose of the training program is to collect local administrative data as means of generating disaggregated data for computing various SDG indicators at the sub-national level. Okay, so actually, the training program is organized into two parts, and this is Sdg Seminar 1 and Sdg Seminar 2. Let me talk about Sdg Seminar 1. This is actually a one-day appreciation course that was given to the local government units on SDG indicators, the data ecosystem, and some basic statistics concepts used in measuring the SDG. And we also conducted a survey of the SDG indicators being collected by the different local government units. So this was conducted from 2017 to 2019. And we were able to do this to all the 17 regions of the country. And you have here the counts as to the number of participants coming from the different LGUs. So we have a total of 1,803 participants. And we successfully collected data on the different indicators that they collect, how often do they collect the data, and what is their data source, okay, and whether they are monitoring these indicators, and where they use these particular indicators. Now, for SDG Seminar 2, okay, this is conducted for 2020 and 2021. Now, because of the pandemic, okay, instead of having face-to-face trainings, PSRTI shifted to virtual trainings. And we conducted 3-day training course on effective presentation of data. So what were the topics that were included here? The different methods of data presentation, like textual, tabular, and graphical. And the focus is when to use a particular type of chart, what is its emphasis, and the different guidelines on how to write effectively and how to construct tables professionally. So we also tackled some different descriptive statistics in the computation of the different SDG indicators. And I would like to say that this will continue until 2021 because for this year, we were able to cover only 5 regions and a total of 1,072 participants. And the regions covered were NCR, Central Luzon, Mimaropa, Western Visayas, and Eastern Visayas. Now, with regards to improving the SDG indicator system and addressing SDG data gaps, then we do this through research, okay? And regarding the research program of PSRTI, okay, we initially reviewed the indicators and checked whether it is applicable in our country setting. And in particular, definitions and methodologies recommended by UN were reviewed to ensure international comparability. PSRTI also checked whether the international methodologies can be integrated in the current data ecosystem of the Philippine statistical system. And then we also check whether the available data sources can supplement the indicators. So once the data gap is clear, PSRTI now develop methodologies to improve collection of data and computation of the SDG indicators. So in 2017, we actually reviewed 33 indicators across 9 SDGs, and these are on the applicability of the definition at the national and subnational levels, what are the variables needed, measurability and viability of indicators, what are the data sources, and frequency and disaggregation. And all of these were done through consultative meetings with different national government agencies. And some of the results of the study is that 17 of the 33 indicators can be adopted in the Philippine setting. Modifications were also recommended, and proxy indicators also were also suggested. Okay, so the recommendations were actually forwarded to the Philippine Statistics Authority for considerations in improving the initial indicator system. Now, in 2019, the Philippine Statistics Authority, or PSA, requested PSRTI's assistance in addressing data gaps in the disaggregation of indicators. So as I have mentioned, what we have right now is only disaggregation by sex, but we need also disaggregation for other groups, okay? And what PSA wants is a registry system for IP groups and persons with disability. So what did we do? We came up with a conceptual framework in collecting data on ethnicity and disability. We also looked at international approaches in collecting data through registration. We did also several consultations with related organizations, okay? And with that, for the registry system, we proposed a conceptual framework and definitions and methodology of collecting data via registration. So the recommendations are currently being discussed by PSA for adoption. Now, at present, given the pandemic, the research division of the PSRTI is focusing now on SDG indicators under the SDG tiers 2 and 3, and in particular, the sectors of health and food security. For health, we are now into measuring indicators for international health preparedness, health worker density, availability and affordability of essential medicines. And for food security, measuring productive and sustainable agriculture. In addition, we have researches related to SDGs such as measuring of maternal mortality using civil registration data, web scraping to collect consumer price index prices, measuring poverty statistics during non-5 years, and annualization of hours of work in computing for labor productivity. And as for the future directions of PSRTI, okay, then I would like to say that right now our hands are very full, but we will continuously support the SDG monitoring and the CBMS. Let me just say a few words about the CBMS. The CBMS is the Community-Based Monitoring System Act, which was passed into law last year. And one of the functions of PSRTI is to do the capacity building of all LGUs giving priority first to the 4th, 5th, and 6th municipalities. And the purpose of this is to be able to target beneficiaries, okay, so that we can actually lower poverty in our country, right? So anyway, so PSRTI has the function to do trainings to all LGUs in terms of what? Data collection, data processing, as well as data analysis. And with that, we would like to have a stronger collaboration with the academe, especially for capacity building. We will be contacting, okay, state universities and colleges, okay, for them to help us in doing the capacity building for the different local government units. And for the conduct of research, I would like to enjoin all academic units that you might consider SDG monitoring as part of your research priorities. This is a great way to engage young statisticians and the faculty members in addressing statistical needs of the country. And with that, I would like to thank you all for listening. And I would like to say that academe plays a great role in leaving no one behind. And if you'd like to get in touch with PSRTI, we are just at the 7th floor at the South Insula Condominium, 61 Timog Avenue, Quezon City. And these are our phone numbers, our website, as well as our social media accounts. Again, thank you very much and a pleasant afternoon to all of you.
Thank you so much, Executive Director Josie, for that very informative talk about the SDG and what PSRTI is doing actively for the Philippine statistical system. Thank you so much. All right, so everyone, so our floor is now open for question and answer. So again, for the open forum, may I remind everyone that you can use the Q&A panel, the chat panel, but make sure you introduce your name, the institution you belong in, and of course, state the question and address to the speaker that you want your question to be answered. Okay, so let's start. Let me check. Okay, Dr. Almeida and Dr. Ombao, may I request that you turn on the camera so that our participants can see your beautiful and handsome face. Thank you. So we have a first question addressed to Dr. Ombao. Thank you for a meaningful presentation, sir. I really like the way how you connected your research with other areas such as econometrics. You mentioned that your research group is recruiting potential PhD students. Can you give us an idea on the profile or background of your current students?
Yes, thank you for that question. ACAUS, our program is, I would say, on the mathematical side of the spectrum, and so we would like our students to be really very comfortable with calculus, with linear algebra, so I am confident that the UP training is very much suited for our program. So I'm also, I like students who are curious, inquisitive, and really, we want to think outside of the box. Just because a concept has not been defined does not mean that we don't pursue it. We pursue new things. And so we have to be bold, daring, as I said, very inquisitive, curious. That's the key. And so my suggestion too for aspiring graduate students is to not run away from rigorous statistical courses. Okay, so if you have to take probability theory, even if it means a lot of sleepless nights, nosebleeds or whatever you call them, go for it. Do not be afraid to pursue these very rigorous classes, stochastic processes, mathematical statistics, all of that. Yeah, so having a good theoretical background is important, and having that sense of curiosity.
Okay, thank you, Doc Ombang, for answering that question. So looks like you will be having a new PhD student to be recruited at CAUST. So we
Yes,
have
I hope so.
also we have also one question message to me addressed to Dr. Josie Almeida. You mentioned a while ago, Ma'am Josie, about the need for disaggregated data and data capture for IPs and PWDs. Have PSRTI explored the possibility of connecting with the SWD because they have the modified conditional cache transfer database, which they use to monitor the IPs and PWDs. Thank you, Ma'am
Yes,
Josie.
thank you for the question, Rocky. Yes, we have actually done consultations with concerned agencies, and one of which is the SWD.
Okay, thank you po, Ma'am Josie. Okay, so we have another question addressed to Dr. Ombao this time. Brian Raffle, are you there? You can answer. You can actually ask Sir Ombao live. But if you feel like you're shy, and it's fine, I'll just read your question. So, hi, Sir Ombao. Thanks for your very interesting presentation. Are there EEG data used in experiments such as what you presented that becomes available for public use if, say, we have developed an interest in this field of biostat? Reason for asking is because most of the open data shared in platforms are mostly social data, including health statistics or economic indicators. Sir Ambao, please.
So yeah, you're right that many of these imaging or brain data are quite proprietary. However, we have some data that we're very willing to share. So Brian, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll give you the links and I'll give you some README documents and some papers that have actually used these data sets. So I'm happy to share them with you. I don't own them, but my collaborator who actually owns them has given me the permission to distribute that to whoever is interested. So just send me an email and we will work it out.
Okay, thank you, Brian, for the question, and thank you for the answer, Dr. Ombao. To Executive Director Almeida, ma'am, what do you concretely plan to be able to localize the monitoring of the indicators, as you mentioned, because it's one of the challenges? Do you have any concrete plan to do that? Thank you, ma'am.
Actually, we have started on it, as I mentioned in my presentation. Right, we started last 2017 by having seminars, okay, for the local government units to be able to have an idea what the SDGs are all about. But of course, this is not only PSRTI, right? This is also being done by DILG, NEDA, okay? And so we have done the seminar series 1 just for the appreciation. So we have not really thought then about the descriptive statistics on how to compute for the different SDG indicators. But as I mentioned, for this year and for 2021, okay, we have already done the training for 5 regions this year, and we taught them how to compute for some of the SDG indicators, focusing on the misuse of ratios, proportions, percentages, and percent change, okay? And we are done with 5, and then the rest of the 12 regions will be for 2021, and everything will be done virtually, okay? And so far, the feedback of the LGUs is very good, okay, because we were able to come up with a system of conducting the training wherein it is as if it is a face-to-face. We do exercises, we do group workshops, we even do energizers, okay? Just to make sure that the activities are interesting and stimulating. And of course, aside from those activities that we have, once the CBMS, okay, takes into action, okay, then we will be continually capacitating the different LGUs, but this time more on data collection, data processing, and data analysis. So after teaching them some descriptive statistics, then it's turn to teach some of the advanced statistical tools, probably, okay, to be measure some of these SDG indicators.
Thank you, Dr. Josie. Thank you. That's a very reassuring plan for the localized monitoring of the SDG. I think we have also another question addressed to you, and this question also I share in my mind. So as individual statisticians, how can we contribute to achieving and maintaining the SDGs? Wonderful question, Ma'am Almeida.
How can you achieve and maintain the
Yes.
SDGs?
Yes.
Okay, actually, right now, we need the help of the academe. Okay? Because there are still a lot of SDG indicators wherein there are still no estimation procedures. And these are more on the environment, on safety, okay, and some health indicators, okay? So we're trying to get the involvement of the academic institutions, and there are already some, okay, help, but of course, we need more collaboration with the different academic units. And if you're interested, okay, in having research regarding the different SDG indicators, okay, you can collaborate with PSRTI, and we can discuss with you what are still those SDG indicators that need to be measured.
Okay, thank you, Doc Josie. Okay, so for those young statisticians interested, just like what Ma'am Josie said, they are very much open for collaboration. So please feel free to communicate with ED Josie for the procedure.
And I would like to add some more, Rocky.
Yes,
I hope you don't mind. Especially those who are scholars ng bayan. Okay? I would like to encourage all the scholars ng bayan to focus also on the Sustainable Development Goals indicators. Okay? This is one way of you helping the country achieve its goal of having a panatag, matatag, at maginhawang buhay.
Thank you, Doc Josie. Thank you. All right, so we have one question for Dr. Ombao. Are these methods used in case control studies, the one that you presented, Doc Ombao?
Yes, thank you for the question, Professor Barrios. Yes, so we have experimental designs where subjects are assigned to a particular treatment, others are assigned to some placebo, for example, and then we observe brain signals on these two groups, and therefore one can compare now dependence measures between different groups of patients. Yes, so definitely. Now I must say though that the time series methods for designed experiments are still a bit, they're not as well developed, especially for spectral analytic work. And so there's a lot of work that has to be done in terms of power analysis, what happens when you have high dimensional signals, so power analysis for high dimensional signals. So yeah, so there's still a lot of work that that we need to work on. A lot of open avenues.
Thank you, Doc Ombao. I hope, Doc Erniel, your question was answered. Another question for you, Sir Toto. I think many participants would like to know if your research group, Biostatistics at KUST, is involved in any COVID-related studies, or how can your methodologies be applied to potential COVID-related studies?
Yes, thank you for that question. Yes, so in fact, we were very much involved at the beginning of this pandemic. And I was more interested not in predicting cases in space and in time, but more on predicting hospitalization counts in space and in time. Because as you know, cases are going to be a function of how much testing we conduct. If we don't conduct testing, then nobody has, then we're positive free, right? But hospitalization, you cannot hide that. And so our goal was to look at hospitalization rates, hospitalization counts, and to be able to predict it, only because these predictions are important for public health officials so they can plan whatever resources they might have. So we built a stochastic model. We built a software for this where we predicted for a given population how many will in fact be positive, whether or not they're tested. Among those who are positive, how many of them will require hospitalization? Among those who are hospitalized, how many of them will require intensive care unit admission? So maraming conditional probabilities dito. So we And then we also we developed a procedure for predicting constructing intervals. So we have worked on this. We have some data software. Whoever is interested can reach out to me. My student can give a demo, and we'll be happy to do that.
Okay, thank you, Doc Ombao, for that. Sir, I have one last question. This is a curious question. Since most of the models that you're doing are nonlinear, so what would be the assumptions, or do you test for the noise or the errors of the models that you're creating? And what test do you usually use to address that?
Yeah, very good question. In fact, yung mga brain signals ay dominated by noise ito. So functional magnetic resonance imaging, it's, I would say, 3 to 5% signal, and the rest of it is really noise. And so kailangan ng pooling across many locations in space. Kailangan ng very good prior information on how to build the model, so that yung mean structure mo ay hindi misspecified. So of course, noise is an important, it's something we really cannot avoid. But we have a way to denoise signals. We have wavelet approaches to do that. Of course, knowing the noise structure, we're able to correctly specify yung ating level of uncertainty, diba? So how confident we are with our predictions and with our estimations. Yeah, so that's a very good question.
Okay, thank you, Doc Ombao. So looks like we don't have any more questions, but of course, if some of the participants are shy, and of course, given that Dr. Almeida of PSRTI and Dr. Ombao opened their doors about collaboration, doing research, doing research with their institutions. So please
Rocky,
feel free to contact them. Yes, Dr. Ombao.
So sorry to interrupt. I have a question for Dr. Almeida, actually.
Yeah, go, sir.
So I hope there's still a little bit of time.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Almeida, for students who want to get engaged in helping out with these SDG projects, ano yung mga background na ideal na hinahanap mo sa mga students? Anong training nila, courses, expertise, and so on?
Okay, I hope sana po yung mga graduate students, okay, specifically in statistics sana, kasi most of the indicators need estimation procedures. So kung pwedeng math, pwede rin siguro ng stat, okay? And then some of the engineering courses, they also have naman statistics in their graduate programs. Then also probably those who are in the health sector, okay, those taking up, let's say, epidemiology, masters in epidemiology, baka they can also help in some of the SDG indicators in the health sector. Actually, we also need more on the environment, sir. And medyo limited po talaga ang ating capacity pa to measure some of the indicators related to this.
Okay.
Pero follow-up question?
Sige po.
So, maraming mga Filipinos who are currently abroad, and may desire to help out and to contribute.
Yes.
So maybe if you can, you can think about ways how we can support the.
Yes, sir. Yes, we are very glad to open our doors and request for your assistance.
And I can speak not only for myself, yung mga lahat ng Pilipino na kilala ko na statisticians dito are really are very eager to help. So
sir, if you can provide their contact details, then we will do the communications with them. Perfect. Sir.
Yes.
So thank you very much for that. And I'm glad that they're helping the Philippines through to
Yes,
share
may
knowledge.
konting guilt. Scholar ng bayan pero wala kami dyan, di ba? So we'd like to
Opo.
be able to help out in, in at least in little ways.
Ayan, buti naman po na antig ang inyong puso as scholars ng bayan. I usually knock at the hearts of our scholars, especially those who have graduated. And I am very happy for those students who graduated and are now working with government agencies. Kasi that's their one way of giving back. Okay po. So, and I really appreciate your suggestion that those of you can help also in the achievement of the SDG goals for the Philippines. Thank you very much po.
Salamat.
So sir, I'll be getting your contact details.
Yes, definitely. So kukunin ko yung email address mo from maybe Rocky or Dr. Gauran, So
yes po. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, maraming salamat po sa very productive and ating healthy discussion. So again, kung meron po tayong mga questions pa na pending, open po ang ating communication dun sa ating distinguished speakers, Dr. Almeda and Dr. Ombao. At this moment, syempre, we have to appreciate what our distinguished speakers share to us. So let me present the certificate of appreciation to both of our speakers.
Virtual.
So this is an e-certificate, ma'am, and we'll be sending it to you. So let me read the citation. The UP School of Statistics, the UP Institute of Statistics, and the Philippine Statistical Research and Training Institute award this certificate of appreciation to Dr. Hernando Ombao in grateful recognition of the expertise and invaluable service as plenary session speaker during the 21st Faculty Student Conference on Statistical Sciences, held last October 30 to 31, 2020 via Zoom. Signed by the Dean of School of Statistics, Joseph Ryan Lansangan, the Director of the UPLB Institute of Statistics, Liza Neri Comilla, and the Executive Director of the PSRTI, Dr. Josefina V. Almeda. Thank you, Dr. Ombao. And the next certificate is for Dr. Almeda. So this certificate of appreciation to Dr. Josefina V. Almeda in grateful recognition of the expertise and invaluable service as plenary session speaker during the 21st Faculty Student Conference on Statistical Sciences, held last October 30 to 31, 2020 via Zoom. Same signatories by the Dean Joseph Lansangan, Director Liza Comilla, and Dr. Josefina Almeda.
Okay, because I just like to inform everyone that we really support the academe, okay, in terms of research. And may I just add something?
Yes, ma'am. Surely.
I would like to inform all academic institutions that PSRTI is offering grants on theses and dissertations. So as long as you are doing some statistical methodologies, okay, in your thesis or dissertations, then please apply, okay? We are offering this. Thank you very much.
Another opportunity mentioned by Dr. Almeda. Thank you, Doc Josie. All right, so that's a wonderful session we had there. Okay, LA.
All right, thank you po. Thank you everyone. Again, thank you our dear speakers, Dr. Almeda and Dr. Umbao. And of course, we would also like to thank our plenary session moderator. So let me just read the certificate. So the UP School of Statistics, UPLB Institute of Statistics, and the Philippine Statistical Research and Training Institute award this certificate of appreciation to Professor Rocky T. Marcelino in grateful recognition of his invaluable service as plenary session moderator during the 21st Faculty Student Conference on Statistical Sciences held last October 30 to 31, 2020 via Zoom. Signed by the Dean of the UP Schools of Statistics, Joseph Ryan Lansangan, Director of the UPLB Institute of Statistics, Liza Neri Comilla, and the Executive Director of the Philippine Statistical Research and Training Institute, Josefina V. Almeda. So thank you po, Professor Rocky T. Marcelino.
Thank you so much, LA, and thank you everyone for the active participation. And of course, definitely we learned something from this session, and our doors for collaboration have opened. So please grab the opportunity. Again, congratulations to everyone, and thank you so much, Dr. Toto, Sir Toto, and Doc Josie. Thank you.
Okay. So,
Maraming salamat. Maraming salamat.
Okay, thank you po again. Now, before we proceed to our next agenda, let's have first a picture taking of this participants in this plenary session, our speakers, and our moderator. So,
may picture taking pa?
Yeah.
Siyempre, ma'am, kahit virtual tayo, may picture taking dapat.
Sige, may remove my eyeglasses.
If you can po, among the panelists po, you may turn on your camera so that you may be included in our picture taking. So, tama po ba? Meron na tayong photographer?
Tayo lang bang apat? Wala si Dean Lan, saka si Dean Liza.
Oo nga po eh. Ayan na po sila. Nandiyan na sila, ma'am.
Nandiyan po, ma'am.
We're here.
Hi, Dean Lan.
Hello po. Hello, Edie.
Good afternoon.
Hello, Dr. Ambaw.
Ilang na po ako? 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay. So, I think one more po. One more daw po. Sabi natin.
Walang waki.
Okay. Okay. Pwede po tayo mag-waki. So, after po nito, so serious muna ulit na one time, then waki po. So, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay. So, this time, as requested, let's pose.
Yeah. Palagi na tayong serious eh.
So, ipipit po
nga po.
Waki. So, habang piniprepare yung ating pang screen capture. So, isipin na po natin yung ating mga pose.
Gian, ano magandang pose?
Okay. So, are we all ready na po? Okay, pose na tayo.
Yes.
3, 2, 1, waki. Okay, that's good. Thank you po.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much po, Doc Josie, Sir Toto. Thank you.
Thank you very much. See you again soon. Bye-bye.
All right. So, of course, we are about to start the closing program. Wala na po tayong coffee break. Tuloy-tuloy na po natin ito. Momentum na po. Okay? So we are about to start the closing program of the 21st Faculty Student Conference. Okay. But before that, you might be wondering, asan na yung kapartner ni Sir? Okay. So before that, let us all watch this video. Sounds, please. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the true highlight of this conference, according to her and my partner for this afternoon, Her Royal Gorgeousness, Miori Bautista.
Dearest royal subjects! Ayun, kung talagang dapat required po ang entrance ko every time may closing program. Nakaka-4 na years na po akong may closing program entrance. Kaya hindi makakapigil ang virtual conference sa aking hinandang entrance. Though hindi natin napakinggan yung sound sa unahan, pero pang Miss Universe talaga. Thank you, Sir LA, no, sa pag-focus mo sa noo ko kanina. Ayun. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome to the closing program of this year's Faculty Student Conference. So, hi Sir LA, kumusta ka naman dyan?
Hello, I'm okay. Kamusta?
Ayun. Maganda pa din. So Sir LA, tell me about your experience sa ating very first virtual Faculty Student Conference.
Well, Mami Al, for me, as much as I'm concerned, I'm very happy that we're still able to hold this event. Given nga our current situation, right? Okay, and I'm also glad to meet everyone who is present here today. How about you, Miao?
Napaka-formal naman. Halata mukhang hindi scripted yung sagot ni Sir LA sa tanong natin kanina. Alright, so, Sir LA, actually, aside from the plenary talks, the parallel sessions, there's actually one more thing na I've been really looking forward to this year. I've actually attempted doing this last year. Pero unfortunately, hindi ako nagtagumpay. I failed, with my plan. But this year, I'm confident na I'll be able to, pull this through. So, you might be wondering, ano naman kaya ang pinagsasabi nitong beautiful individual na to sa aking screen. So, let's watch this video clip from 2018 SFCon. Paki-play. Ang saya dito sa comedy bar.
Gusto kayo nawawala.
I'm back! Yan, yung napanood niyo po ay isa sa mga nangyari sa akin during the 2018 FSCon. Okay? Naranasan kong grabe talaga, traumatic ang nangyari sa akin sa 2018. So, I think it's only fair to ask the MCs back then to give us some sort of a welcome skit, welcome talent, pwedeng talent yung ibigay nila to welcome us all in this closing program. So tawagin na natin sila, nag-MC din sila kanina. So we have Ma'am Zar and Sir Gian, nandyan pa ba kayo? Ma'am Zar, Sir Gian?
Here pa.
Yeah. What's wrong, guys? Bakit kayo naka-mask?
We're practicing, safety measures. We have to practice that. We need to remember that COVID-19 is still out there. So, I think we cannot speak for like.
No, I think you'll be able to, welcome our beloved attendees sa ating closing program. So I expect you've prepared something naman, no? Kasi mahiya naman kayo sa ginawa ko ng 2018.
Nahiya nga kami.
Yeah.
Time na ba? Are we ready?
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Ma'am Zar and Sir Gian.
Luck, guys.
1, 2, 3, go. Why do you build me up, buttercup baby, just to let me down?
That's it. Thank you.
And the worst of all. That's it.
I can't stop. Wait.
That's what you call feedback.
There's static.
Yes, that's the static and the statistics with the feedback.
Yeah, and then
that's what you get.
Come together as one.
You do realize this is being broadcasted live, right?
Yes. We're aware.
May reason bakit may pagtatago ng face.
Kita niyo, mata na lang to. Ganyan.
Wow. Sir Elaine, napakagaling, di ba? I think they deserve a round of applause.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay, please give them a round of applause.
Wow, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Rinig nyo yun. May prepare. Ayun. So, thank you.
Kapatid ko po yun. Opo.
Tsaka yung kapitbahay namin, medyo tinawag. Uy, dito ka na.
Support naman.
So, ang ating purpose ngayon ay hindi magchikahan. Ayun. So, Ma'am Zar and Sir Gian are actually here para sa continuation. Okay, meron pa silang hinandang mga questions.
Naramdaman namin na na-miss nila.
True. Tapos balita ko kasi, ang laki ng budget ng UPSS na talagang giveaway lang kayo ng prizes. Totoo ba to?
Yeah. Thanks to Pizza Hut and
the Monte Pineapples.
And the Monte Pineapples for sponsoring our section.
Alright. Okay, go Sir Gian and Ma'am Zer. Go ahead.
Thank you, Ma'am Yao.
Actually, join us for this. So alam namin na na-excite yung maraming tao in the trivia game. So might as well.
We learn something every day.
Yes. Okay. So sige, so quick background lang muna. Go to menti.com is the code 818888. Again, ganun pa rin. Use your put your name, your first name, and your last name, and your affiliation.
Good
Sige,
luck.
while we're waiting for some people, Sir L.A., Ma'am Miao, ano kayo ka maalam? Kasi kanina, di ba, pinag-usapan natin pizza. Ang buong pangalan ng pizza ay Pizza
Hut.
Pizza.
Yun yung estimator. Yun yung Pizza Hut.
Oo. Pero pag generic.
Yung generic. Yung true value na. Yung pizza. Yung huling-huli.
Yun na yung sagot dun sa...
Yun na. Congratulations to our winner of the next...
That's Sir L.A.
Siyempre hindi. We give the participants a chance.
Right, so it's all about pie.
Wow.
So
easy as pie kaya to?
We hope.
I think ang question, what is the, let's say, 10th decimal of the number pi? Mga ganun ba yan?
Or the 21st. Because it's the 21st episode.
Why not? I think it's 6. Please verify. And how many yung kaya ninyo? May ano ba kayo? Like, may ilang digits?
Ako 3.14.
Wow.
That's 3. That's 3 including the 3.
Oh, nice.
Why not?
Oh, Sir L.A., it's 3. Oh, now you know 3 digits.
How about you, Ma'am Zar? How many digits can you...
I'll go last.
Last na
Okay,
yan.
go Sir Gian.
I can, yung sugal ko dito, hindi ko alam kung ilan, pero tingin ko tama, 3.14, 15, 926, 535, 62. Ewan kung tama na yun, pero nandun lang kaya ko eh.
Wow.
Sabihin lang kung ilan yung kaya, hindi
ko nabilang eh. Alam ko yung piper niyo marunong magbilang pala. Sorry.
How about you, Mami Au?
Zar, it's your turn.
I can name 21.
21 for the 21st episode, Zar.
Okay, go ahead. I dare you. If tumama si Ma'am Zar dito, isasali natin siya sa Shopee game ni Kuya Will.
Totoo yan?
You will get a chance to win.
Oh my God.
Baka
Salamat, Episcon.
Yan, Ma'am Zara.
Kapag if ever, pag hindi nyo naman alam kung ano yung tama, di ba? Lalagay ko na lang yung number ko. Babanggitin ko na lang.
Yun pala, may hidden agenda.
Table of random numbers pala ang pag-recite.
Okay, sige. 21. Sana kaya ko. Okay. 3.14515926535897323884621 ba yun? Including 3?
Yun, no?
Nagnanat lang ako eh. Di ko alam kung tama.
Tangunang tayo,
Wow! Chine-check ko actually tama. So, anong website ang inopen mo for that?
Wikipedia. No, what well, it's a tribute to the 21st Episcon.
20 pa lang.
Including 3.
We include 3 din sa digits.
Include mo na rin yung decimal, ma'am.
Partial points, ganyan, 0.5.
Ayun. Pero actually, hindi tungkol dun yung ating question. The question?
I think we're ready na, no?
Okay, let's read the question.
Yeah. Na-excite sila eh. Oh my God.
Timothy Malacan of the USA achieved the Guinness World Records for the most accurate value of pi last January 29. So that's this year lang. He used the computer program Y-Cruncher using the Chudnovsky algorithm. The computation took over 8 months in total. How many digits of pi were calculated?
Wow.
That was a mouthful. Okay, we have different answers. The correct answer is... Ilan yan?
Ilan yung zero na yan?
Ilan yan? And daming zeros.
Trillion?
Yes.
Wow.
No, not trillion.
Ano ba to?
Trillion.
Parang trillion.
Correct, trillion. Galing.
So that's actually 50 trillion digits.
Dami.
Wow.
8 lang yung ma'am.
Kailan ba matapos to?
Imagine sa pag-compute pa lang, di ba? Yun yung mga advantages ng digital age. Kasi nga, advancing technology natin. So,
I like the segue.
More precise about these values. Now, forever naman, nandun lang naman siya, di ba? Okay, let's check kung sino muna ako.
It's our top.
Sino kaya ito?
Wow.
Nag-a-adjust ng ating
Shakira.
leaderboard. Wow, we have an international audience talaga. Shakira.
The universe.
Samina-mina.
Okay, we'll take note of the list of winners and we'll contact you for your prizes. Thank you
Congrats
so
po.
much.
Congrats po.
Congratulations. And thank you, Sir LA and Ma'am Ya, for calling us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. Thank you.
appreciate
Thank you, Sir
it.
Gian. Thank you, Ma'am Zar. Sana hindi
And
na
we are-
namin makita kayo ulit. Kami naman bida kayo.
Yes, we are looking forward for the next episode na kayo talagang parang, di ba? We pass the torch.
Ito na talaga, parang, this is yours.
Correct.
We look forward to see
Thank you.
Hopefully in person. In UPS.
Yes.
That's true. That is true. All right. Thank you, Sir Gian. Thank you, Ma'am
Babawi
Zar.
tayo. Thank you.
Alright. Ayan. So, congratulations sa mga nanalo sa ating sa ating game kanina. Alright. So, I think there will still be a raffle mamaya if I'm not mistaken. So, stay tuned for that. Alright. So, as many of you know, this is the first time that we are holding the faculty-student conference virtually, okay, because of the pandemic. So let us look back on the past 2 days of this conference. Let us all watch this video. And wow, I mean, can you believe it, Sir LA? I mean, we are limited by the by this virtual setup kasi nga because of the pandemic, but still we were able to accomplish so many things for the past 2 days. So I guess the organizers really outdid themselves this year. Am I right, Sir LA?
Yes, exactly, Miao. So congratulations to the organizing team, of course, led by the UP School of Statistics. So can we please give them a round of applause?
A round of applause. Ayun. Yan, may prepare kaming clip dyan. Sariling sikap tayo ngayon sa applause. So I believe there is still one more video to play. Okay, so our colleagues from the UPSS will play the video.
Video. Audio, please.
Ayan, since live, meron pa tayong technical issues. Ganun talaga pag live tayo. Alright? So, while waiting for the video to play, okay na ba? Yes, okay na. So, hindi tayo papayag na may dead air.
Yeah.
Boring yon. Ayaw natin ng dead air. So, while waiting for the video to play, chikahan muna tayo. So, as I've mentioned earlier, I'm sorry, Sir LA?
Ano mo na lang yung video natin. Yan.
Dubbed. Ganon. Alright? So, as I've mentioned earlier, even though naka-virtual setup tayo, we were able to successfully hold this conference, diba? So hindi tayo nakakabilib yung ating organizers, especially UPLB Instat, UPSS, and the PSRTI, that pinush through pa din nila yung event. You know, since this is a yearly thing, they've decided to push through with the event despite of the pandemic. So congratulations to the organizing.
Oh, this is the first time. So
first time, yeah.
So it's very good na. Okay.
So I think we can use this setup in the future. So for example, para hindi lang yung usual attendees na si LSU, the LSU yung ating ma-target. Na instead of limiting ourselves sa Luzon area, we can reach other places then, Visayas and Mindanao.
Yeah, it can be international, di ba?
So, yung speakers natin very international, di ba? From US, meron din tayo from UAE.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so if we're having some technical issues po. Okay na po ba?
Okay, so let's try it one more time.
Second time's the charm.
Let us have the video. Yun.
Pleasant morning to all of you. My name is Gian.
And I am Zareen.
And welcome to the 21st Faculty Student Conference on Statistical Science.
With the theme, Statistics in the digital age, leaving no one behind.
Yes, isang magandang morning sa ating lahat. Wow, mula doon, Visayas, Mindanao, at ibang bahagi.
And worldwide.
Yun na nga.
Diba?
Very radio program tayo tuloy doon. Na parang magandang morning sa ating lahat. So again, welcome po sa ating lahat in the 21st Faculty Student Conference. To start our program and to give his welcoming remarks, may we call on the Dean of the UP School of Statistics, Dr. Joseph Ryan Bensan.
On behalf of the organizers, I am pleased to welcome you all to the 21st Faculty Student Conference on the Statistical Sciences. We are delighted to have you all participate in this first ever online FSCon. This year, our theme is on the relevance of statistics in the digital age and its role in helping our nation towards sustainable, equitable, and shared progress for all segments of our society. Given the current COVID-19 pandemic, data and statistics have become the focus of public attention. Data collection, data access, data sharing, analysis, presentation, and use of statistics, data science, and evidence-based decision-making have engaged everyone in many conversations about issues on social justice, poverty, public health, governance, and development, among others. Our gathering, albeit virtual, is indeed more relevant. And there has been a strong response to our invitation. There are nearly 470 of you who pre-registered for this virtual event. I am most grateful for your participation and support. I hope you will have fruitful and rewarding experiences today and tomorrow. I look forward to meeting you in the different sessions and other online activities. Again, a very warm welcome to each and every one of you.
Part of the program, we are graced by the presence of the proponent of this faculty conference, and here to give his inspirational message is our civil registrar, a national statistician, Claire Dennis Mapa.
Roosevelt, the President of the United States, once said, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." And you, our young researchers, you are the future. And I would like to thank each one of you who are here participating in this virtual conference to celebrate our 21st Faculty Student Conference on the Statistical Sciences. May this event ignite your passion to innovate, do more research, and enhance your capabilities in statistics. Thank you very much. Magandang umaga sa ating lahat.
I'm going to make a presentation which is very unusual. There are no formulas, and I'm not going to use any PowerPoint slides or anything, and just be doing some storytelling. And just looking at the conference program, we can see that it's an exciting time in the world of statistics. With expanding, challenging frontiers for research in statistical methodology and applications. Not only is it now certified as a cool and sexy profession, but statisticians are also well loved. A major pharmaceutical executive remarked recently, "I absolutely fell in love with statisticians. Any real-world problem almost always is going to require some data to be analyzed and interpreted, generating value-added solutions by using statistics."
So in conclusion, biostatisticians are in high demand.
many rewards, including potential to have impact on public health. Our work is not limited to clinical trials. And finally, the digital age has opened doors across borders. We have a lot of opportunities, but we have a lot of challenges as well. I'm going to end this, and I thank everyone. I'm happy to take questions.
It's good to have friends that are very ambitious because it carries you over in that sense too. So I went then to Florida State University. I think they were very nice in offering me a graduate assistantship where you have to teach. So they give you $500 per month, okay, during that time. And then you have to teach and you survive on that and you save 3 months of that for your tuition, okay? So when I left the Philippines,
they found that 1 out of 6 young people has stopped working since the onset of the pandemic. And obviously, this number might have increased during the height of lockdowns. Next slide, please. On the other hand, 60% of young people also have concerns that their studies will be delayed or might fail.
So actually, it's important as they empower public policymakers and enable them to deliver improved programs and services, not only for the poor, but also for the vulnerable sectors in the society. So for instance, the initial results of this study were also used by ABB's Southeast Regional Department to identify areas to benefit from the ABB's Bayan Bayanihan food program.
So today, I am joined by Rhea Jean Tabaco, who co-prepared this presentation with me. We will be speaking about statistics in the digital age, leaving no one behind, but we all wanna be counted and connected. So our presentation will weave a story covering gender statistics. So Ray and I are both working at UN Women, so we would be remiss if we do not talk about gender statistics. But we'll make it a point to make you appreciate why it matters to you and it matters to each one of us.
Right now, using the available data, we have 86% of women ages 15 to 49 owns a mobile phone based on NDHS 2017. We might say that it is quite high, but again, when we think about it, there were those 14% who are probably not receiving NDRRMC's warning. Zooming in further, there is a large disparity in mobile ownership between women living in urban and rural areas.
One of our goals is real-time tracking of dependence. So instead of collecting the entire data and then stopping the experiment and then retrospectively describe what happened during the experiment, so you compute the time varying dependence and so on, what we'd like to do is be able to track dependence on real time. So habang nag-experiment pa sa animals or sa humans, we'd like to be able to track dependence. We'd like to be able to see how different parts of the brain are communicating with each other during the experiment itself.
In line with the Philippines' commitment, in achieving the global goals, the SDGs are aligned to the national government, development agenda as embodied in the Philippine Development Plan. So the Philippine Development Plan is actually a 5-year plan, and this is from 2017 to 2022. And the Philippine Development Plan, or PDP, integrates the present long-term vision of the Filipinos or the Filipino family for a strongly rooted, comfortable, and secure life for all.
this video really reiterated what I've said earlier, Sir LA, na despite the pandemic, despite this being in a virtual setup, we're able to accomplish so many things within the 2 days na schedule of the faculty student conference. So congratulations again to all the speakers, to all the participants, and especially to the organizing team. So palakpakan ulit natin sila. Cue music. may delay ang palakpak natin. Sariling sikap po kami dito sa pagpalakpak. All right, so thank you so much.
Okay, so that's one way to summarize our faculty student conference. And now to give us the synthesis of the 21st faculty student conference, may we call on the research coordinator of the UPLB Institute of Statistics, Professor Marijoy Lopez Relente.
To the participants, presenters, speakers, and organizers of this conference, a pleasant afternoon to all of you. We are all very lucky to be given a chance to hear from our notable speakers and presenters in the field of statistics. With this, I know that you have gained a lot of insights and knowledge, making this really a worthwhile experience for all of us. During the first day of the conference, we were inspired and made aware of the boundless of opportunities for statisticians, be it in economics, biology, finance, data science. Statistics can be applied in all these fields. That's why, according to Dr. Peña, a career in statistics or data science is attractive. In fact, it is considered as the sexiest job of the 21st century. Though it seems easy to find a career in statistics, it is worth noting that our field is continuously changing. Hence, it is also necessary that we must be able to adapt to these changes. For instance, as what our speakers have said, a skill in programming is essential nowadays, especially that we are now in the digital or information age. The plenary talks also presented some practical applications of statistics and showed how our field can help to alleviate the quality of life of our fellow men. Dr. Mariano, who is in the field of econometrics, is using his expertise to help the economic sector of our country. Dr. Montepiedra also exemplified the role of biostatisticians in safeguarding public health and improving lives. This will be beneficial nowadays as we might not know when another pandemic is going to happen. Dr. Martinez and Mr. Bulan also applied statistics and machine learning to map poverty. Their study also illustrated the use of non-traditional data sources such as satellite images that can provide more granular information, which is very crucial in policy making. In Ms. Encarnacion's talk, statistics were the main tool used to show the digital gap between men and women, and this made us realize that there are really a lot of things to do to bridge this gap. Similarly, statistics is being used to monitor the progress of the country in terms of achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. And good thing, we have agencies such as PSRTI that support the statistical needs of the Philippine statistical system in SDG monitoring. Finally, I am glad to know that our field is advancing. In Dr. Umbao's talk, he showed us how statistics was used in understanding the brain activity. The papers presented in the parallel session also revealed some new methodologies and techniques in the different areas of statistics. That's all. I hope that you enjoyed the conference. And as statisticians or future statisticians living in an era of digital transformation, there are boundless of opportunities and ways where we can also help in making this country a better place to live in. A country where there is no one and wana left behind. Thank you, everyone.
Hello, Mami Au, nakamute ka po.
Oh, Sir LA. No, hindi ako nakamute, talagang speechless ako.
Okay. Wala kang masabi sa speech sa synthesis.
Sir LA, may script tayo, di ba? Nag-script tayo na anong sasabihin natin sa synthesis ni Mama Joy. Pero after hearing the synthesis, sir, what can you say, Sir LA?
I think Mami Au, it deserves a standing ovation.
I agree. I agree. Cue clapping sound and standing ovation. Ang dami nating pagganap para ang effort natin para kay Mama Joy. Well, thank you so much, Mama Joy, for that very detailed synthesis. All right, so Sir LA.
So let's move on. So as we all know, every year we give awards to the best undergraduate and graduate papers. Okay, I know that many of you are waiting for this, and this year is no different. Okay, I'm sure all of you are excited to know the winners, but before that, let us introduce first the judges. Mami Au. Mami Au, you are muted. Yeah,
Our first judge is Dr. Romulo Virola. So he was the Secretary General of the former National Statistical Coordination Board, or NSCB, the highest policy-making and coordinating body on statistics in the Philippines from 1991 until his retirement in 2012. He completed his PhD in statistics at the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor, USA. He has written, presented, and published more than 160 papers and more than 100 statistically speaking articles on the website of the former NSCB. He was a member of the governing bodies of the Partnership in Statistics for Development in the 21st Century, or Paris 21, the UN ESCAP Committee on Statistics, and the Washington Group on Disability Statistics, among others. Okay. He headed the Friends of the Chair of the Statistical Institute for Asia and the Pacific on its strategic plan for 2015 to 2019. He was a member of the jury of the 2011 Mahalanobis International Award of the International Statistical Institute, the Friends of the Chair of the UN Statistical Commission on the Fundamental Principles of Official Statistics, the International Advisory Group on Agricultural Statistics of the FAO, the Advisory Group of the Marrakech Action Plan for Statistics, and the Statistical Advisory Panel on the 2012-2013 Human Development Report. He has served as consultant for the UN system, the World Bank, the Asian Development Bank, the OECD, or Paris 21, European Union, ASEAN Stats, and various government and private institutions in the Philippines. He has done work for the development of statistical systems of many countries in Asia, as well as outside Asia. He was honored as one of the 10 outstanding researchers in the Philippines in 2006 by the National Research Council of the Philippines and received the Tito Mijares Lifetime Achievement Award from the Philippine Statistical Association. Wow, ang dami. But aside from that, he was a member of the Philippine bridge teams that competed in the 28th Southeast Asian Games in Singapore in 2015 and the 18th Asian Games in Indonesia in 2018. Again, our first judge is Dr. Romulo Virola.
Okay, for our second judge, he is currently a statistician at the Economics Research and Regional Cooperation Department of the Asian Development Bank. He graduated magna cum laude with a degree of BS Statistics in the University of the Philippines and also obtained his Master MS Statistics in the same university. Prior to his work in ADB, he was a research fellow at the University of Queensland in Australia, where he also received his PhD in social statistics. He is a member of the Statistical Society of Australia, the Australian Council for Social Service, and the Philippine Statistical Association. His research interests include social stratification, poverty, inequality, economic mobility, survey design, small area estimation, multivariate and multi-level modeling, and meeting the disaggregated data requirements of the Sustainable Development Goals using conventional and innovative data sources. He is no other than Dr. Arturo Martinez Jr. Mami Au, you are muted again.
Thank you again for reminding me, sir. Right, our third judge is a technical consultant for the Philippine Statistics Authority, currently leading the review and development of the multidimensional poverty index of the Philippines, using the Family Income and Expenditure Survey and the Labor Force Survey of the country. She graduated with a degree of BS Statistics in the University of the Philippines and obtained her MA Economics in the same university. She also received her MS in Impact Evaluation for International Development with merit in the University of East Anglia in UK. Aside from providing technical assistance to the PSA, she also serves as a consultant and research associate for the Young Lives Study of the University of Oxford in UK. A longitudinal study of the drivers and impacts of childhood and youth poverty. So for the Young Lives Study, her research topics include the consequences of teen marriage, cohabitation, and parenthood on learning, economic activity, reproductive health, and well-being on young women. The early life determinants of foundational cognitive abilities and executive functioning and their relationship with adolescent mental health, and the impact of the uterine climate shocks on child or adolescent cognitive test scores, foundational cognitive abilities, and executive functioning. So our third judge is Miss Christine Joy Briones.
Okay.
All right. So we've already introduced the judges, Sir L.A.
So with that, to announce the winners of this year's Best Paper Awards, let us call the Executive Director of the Philippine Statistical Research and Training Institute, Dr. Josie V. Almeda.
Hello, Ma'am Josie.
Okay. So is
Ma'am Josie, while waiting for Ma'am Josie, I think excited na ang ating mga winner, mga presenters, right?
Ano?
So the presentation for the Best Paper Awards was actually done virtually then. Alright, so before kasi pumupunta sila ng PSRTI and to present their papers.
Okay.
Alright? Is Ma'am Josie with us po?
Okay, Mami Au, why don't we have, para naman medyo matagal-tagal tayo, why don't we have a raffle? Can we have a raffle now?
Without raffle na tayo while waiting for Ma'am Josie.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that while waiting for Ma'am Josie to be ready. Totoo, true. Let's do that. Okay? So, while waiting for Ma'am Josie to get ready, raffle muna tayo. So sa mga hindi pa nananalo ever since sa raffle, huwag kayong mag-alala. You still have a chance to win.
Ako hindi pa ako nananalo.
Totoo ba?
Kasama ba ako dito?
Lahat ata ng nag-register ay kasama dito. Alright? So I think we're ready to pick a winner. So, random generator, start!
Go!
Ayan na. Congratulations, Miss Rica Rivera.
Alright. So, 391 siya yung nanalo. Napakaswerte.
Balita ko, makiklaim lang ang winner, ang prize, if kakanta daw ng theme song ng Locks White. Okay, I think we can still do one more, Sir L.A. Mayaman ang host ngayon, so I think we can still do one more. Alright, let's pick another name.
Let's have another round for the raffle. Start. Mas maganda kung may drum roll tayo ngayon, no?
Ayun. Congratulations, Mr. Keith Russell Torres. We will contact you, okay, for you to be able to claim your prize. Pero yun nga, kakanta ng theme song naman, ng Shopee naman ngayon. Kuya Will tayo. Mimigay ng prizes.
Ano na yan? Theme song na yan. Sample mo nga, ma'am.
Lux White ba? Nanonood talaga. Alright, ganon. Alright, so ayun, thank you so much sa ating in charge sa raffle, and congratulations to the winners. So let's go back. Is Ma'am Josie ready na po? All right, so there has been a change. So, ang mag-a-announce na po ng ating winners I see, Sir L.A.
Hello?
Ayun, si Ma'am Pinky na daw po ang mag-a-announce ng ating winners.
It's Ma'am Pinky, right? From the PSRTI.
Yes, so Ma'am Pinky will be announcing the winners of this year's Best Student Paper Awards. Ma'am Pinky, the screen is yours. Hindi tayo pumapayag na may dead air. Ayaw natin ng dead air kasi naririnig ng mga audience ay wala.
It's okay. Ganito talaga kapag virtual.
Oo, tas live pa, ano? So, Ma'am Pinky will be announcing. Parang ganito, pinapa-thrilling natin, okay, ang announcement. So, we're,
ano ba mamiaw kasi yung mapapanalunan ng mga winners natin? Bakit ba kailangan na nito pinaghahandaan? Ano ba yung possible na mapanalunan?
Balita ko, certificate lang. Certificate, 1 year bragging rights lang. May cash prize, Sir LA.
Baka naman yung cash prize ay virtual, hindi naman.
Yun nga, Bitcoin. Alright, so since hindi pa din ready ang si Ma'am Pinky din, so we're waiting for Ma'am Pinky, we will now announce the winners of the flip grid competition. Nag-submit ka ba, Sir LA?
Nakabahan ako kasi nag-submit ako dun eh. Nag-respond ako dun.
Ayan, titingnan natin ngayon. Hihintayin natin ang text ng mga nanalo. Eto na, tinext na sa akin ang mga winners. Are you guys ready for the winners? By the way, if you want to watch their videos, you can just go to the Flipgrid link na share. /21
FSCon. Yeah.
Ayan. So, kung sino yung mga i-announce ko na winners, be sure to check out their videos. Let's see if they really are deserving, no, of being crowned as winners. Kasi feel ko may Sir LA, ito talaga feel ko may paglulutong naganap eh. Lalo na sa first winner na i-announce ko.
Bakit parang bitter ka?
Hindi ko tanggap eh. Alright? So, let us now announce the winner. Ano bang mapapanulalunan, Sir LA, ng winners? Bragging rights.
Bragging rights, of course.
Yun, bragging rights.
Up to 20-second SFCon, ikaw ang magandang video.
Totoo. Pero feel ko din may cash prize. May cash prize dito. So, let us now announce the winners of my 3 categories. Ito, Sir LA. So you have, relevance to the theme, correct? And then meron ding Halloween video.
Ano yan? Nakakatakot, ganun?
So dapat pala kahit siguro nakaganon lang ako sa video, panalo na ako, no?
Ayang pala mamiaw, mananalo ka sana kung sinend natin sa Flipgrid yung video mo, yung nakadapa ka sa huli.
Pwede kayo, sana counted yun. Anyway, okay, and then MX Energy. Ayan. So, 3 ang ating winners na i-announce ngayon. Okay. Alright, so let us now announce the winner for the for best video with relevance to the theme.
I think we have a drum roll, Mami Au.
Okay, drum roll please. Mapi-play ba natin ang drum roll?
I think so. Because alam mo naman tayo.
Prepared tayo dyan sa mga drum roll na yan. Ayan, so Sir Enzo, drum roll please. Ganon. This is us killing time while waiting for the announcement of the best. Kasi balita ko kasi masyadong tight yung labanan. Kaya
dikit lang Dikit lang.
Matagal yung announcement. Okay, Sir Enzo, are we ready for the drum roll?
Ikaw na magda-drum roll.
Sige. Okay, announce mo ha. Ready?
The winner of the video with relevance to the theme. Drum roll, please.
Ganun ba yan?
Is Miss Zarine Antoinette Antonio.
Ay, palapakan! Luto.
Mami Au. Narinig ko na ang pangalan nito.
Host, nanalo pa? My God, may paglulutong naganap. Buti na lang, siguro kung ako yung nagbigay, no, may competition sana si Ma'am Zar nun kung naglagay ako.
Lumaban.
Kasi gusto ko, I want to give others a chance. Ito naman, for our next prize. Alright?
Okay. I think it's
Ito ay Best Halloween Video.
Okay. So, ang tinignan ng judges dito ay kung...
nakakatakot, nakakasuka. Ganon. Ayun. And the winner for the best video, Flipgrid video, na Halloween themed, I see Miss Jenny Fernandez. Palakpakan. Congratulations, Miss Jenny.
I think ito yung may ito ba yung may mga pumpkin? Tama ba? Yun ata yun eh.
Ay, wax. Panoorin nyo ha. So, sa mga hindi pa po nakaka-visit ng ating Flipgrid, you can go to flipgrid.com/21fscon. You can watch the videos. And we still have one more category. All right?
Energy.
MX Energy.
All right. Or miss.
And the winner for... Eto, sir, nakita mo ba kung ano na naman, sino na naman yung nanalo, Sir LA? Kaya sinasabi ko talaga, naggisa to eh. Naggisa, tapos nagluto.
No choice.
Kasi walang nag-submit. Alright, so the winner for MX Energy are group to. This is a group video submitted by the hosts and the
video.
Controls. Wow, congratulations. Nakita ko si Sir Gian. Sir Gian, nag-special appearance ka.
I think ito yung nagpapakit-pakit sila.
No, ito yung nanalo? Oh my God.
Oo.
So congratulations to the winners.
So marami yung energy na labas nila. So kaya sila nanalo tingin ko.
Ayun. Okay. Sir LA, alam ko may na-receive ka na namang text dyan. May panibagong pagbabago na naman sa ating program.
Flexible tayo. That's what. One of
the
being...
Pag ito nagbago pa, Sir LA, ano kayang gagawin natin pag ito nagbago? Ako na talaga mag-a-announce. Okay, we have a slight change po of the announcement of winners. So to announce the winners for the Best Student Paper Awards, we have one of the judges, okay, Dr. Art will be announcing the winners. So, sir?
Arturo Martinez Jr. Sir?
Sid. Doc Art? Are you there? Sir, pakigalaw ng baso. Wala din, Sir LA.
Yes, what?
So may technical difficulties po tayo. Smile lang po kami ni Sir LA dito while waiting for the final...
More time. More screen time. It's okay.
That's true. That's true. I mean, let's blast their screens with our beautiful and handsome faces. So, Sir Art will be announcing the winner. Sir Art is actually one of the judges for the Best Student Paper Awards. Eto ha, pangatlong palit na to na mag-a-announce ng winners, Sir LA.
Of course. Oh, it's okay.
Ramdam ko parang wala silang tiwala sa atin. Bakit hindi na lang kaya tayo mag-announce?
Kasi may cash atang ibibigay. Nasa kanila.
Pagka-announce ng winner, transfer agad via GCash.
Kukunin nata yung GCash, GCash details.
Kaya naman pala. Wala tayong ganun eh. Okay? Okay, Sir LA, alam ko may natanggap ka na namang text dyan.
Yeah.
Hindi ko na kinakaya ang kaganapan, Sir LA.
Hindi tayo ka-flexible, ma'am.
For the 4th time this afternoon, meron po tayong change na mag-a-announce ng winner. Babalik tayo. Ganon. May binabalikan tayo palagi. So, to announce the win, eto ha, sure na talaga to. Kasi pag talagang hindi pa to sure, Sir LA, ikaw na mag-a-announce. Kami na po magbibigay ng prize din.
Inala ko tong mag-a-announce na to maganda.
Sige, go. Introduce mo na, Sir LA.
Sa Tagalog para maganda o marikit. Mabait. Ma'am Pinky Peña. Ma'am Pinky, are you there?
Yes, thank you, Sir LA. Thank you for your kind words. No, Halloween ngayon, kaya ganyan. Anyway, yes, sorry for the delay in the announcement of the winners. So, sige, now we now go to the awarding of the best undergraduate paper. We have the best undergraduate paper, a meta-analysis on the efficacy and safety of CYD TVD Denvaksha by Vince Harvey B. Juan of the UP Los Baños Institute of Statistics. Congratulations! Wow, congratulations po. So next is our best, second best graduate paper. We have, here, statistical shape analysis of selected Hoya species, Polinarium in section Physostema. Oh, so tama ba ang pronunciation ko? Pasensya na po. Family of Apocynae by Angelo Emmanuel P. Ho from the UP Diliman School of Statistics, UP Diliman University Library. Okay. Congratulations! Now, the best graduate paper is the Bayesian variable selection using knockoffs with applications to genomics by Juriel K. Yap from the UP Diliman School of Statistics. Congratulations!
Congratulations to all winners. Thank you so much, Ma'am Pinky, for announcing the
Thank
winners.
you.
So once again, congratulations to the best paper awardees. All right. So we have one from the undergraduate category, and you have two winners from the student. The graduate student category. All right. Congratulations once again, Sir LA.
Congratulations.
Okay. So ngayon, ano na ba ang susunod natin? I think at this juncture, the research director of the UP School of Statistics would like to give a few words. So may we call on Dr. Iris Ivy Gauran. So Ma'am I.
Hi, good afternoon po. Can you all hear me?
Yes po, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for still staying up to the last few minutes. Hindi ko alam kung kanino ako unang magpapasalamat, pero thank you sa weather kasi pinayagan tayo mag-push through yung FSCon for 2 days ng as much as possible minimal disconnections on all our ends, and yun nga, hindi nagkaroon ng brownout. So thank you sa lahat ng tumulong sa pag-organize ng event, and I wanted to thank the heads of units. I wanted to thank Majoy from Instat for always accommodating me and for accepting my calls, and I wanted to thank Jessa from PSRTI for also representing PSRTI in organizing this conference. Struggle po this year, pero we hope, and it is our only vision to make sure that the transition is smooth from UPSS to Instat. So for the 22nd SFCon next year, and we're hoping that tagos sa screen yung effort namin, and we're hoping na na-feel nyo po na we tried our best to adapt and be flexible considering everything that has happened to all of us this year. Special mention, I wanted to give special shout out to the organizing committee. So for the chair of the program and documentation committee, Zar, na siya rin ay siya rin yung host. So siya lahat meow. And I wanted to thank Gian, who is the head of publicity and registration, kasi siya din ang aming stat info officer and siya din yung host. I wanted to thank Bea for being the overall technical assistant to everybody and for the controls, as well as her helper Lian. And I wanted to thank George for helping me write all the guidelines and for helping me navigate all through the technical aspects of this conference. For everyone na tumulong po, especially to our Dean, Sir Lance, for always being available for all the consultations. Thank you so much for all the students who submitted their papers, for all the faculty members who in one way or another helped us, our plenary moderators, our session moderators, our session rapporteurs. Hindi ko na po kayo maisa-isa, pero alam nyo po, almost every day nakakatanggap kayo ng email from me. Finally, matatapos na yon. Wala na kayo marireceive from me after this. So thank you po. And in case na may nakalimutan ako, may I call on our Dean, Sir Lance, for the acknowledgements?
Okay, thank you po, Ma'am Ai. All right, so let us also hear, sabi nga po ni Ma'am Ai, from the Dean of the UP School of Statistics, Dr. Joseph Ryan Lansangan. Sir?
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So again, in behalf of the organizers, thank you all for your participation and contribution. Your online presence has been invaluable and without doubt has helped make the 21st FSCon a great success. Many thanks to the Philippine Statistical Research and Training Institute for the sponsorship and for leading the best student paper competition. Dr. Josefina Almeida and Ms. Jessa Lopez, thank you very much. We're also grateful to UP Institute of Statistics, headed by Dr. Liza Comilla and Prof. Mary Joy Lopez Reliente, for the enormous efforts in co-organizing the conference. Thank you, Doc Liza and Prof. Majoy. We greatly appreciate and support the support from our plenary session moderators, VP Lisa Grace Bersales, Dr. Zita Albacea, and Prof. Rocky Marcelino. Thank you very much. Thank you also to Dr. Erniel Barrios for facilitating the invitation of several of our plenary speakers. And thank you again to all our plenary speakers and paper presenters. And congratulations again to the winners of the Student Best Paper Awards. Shout out to all the professors from STAT and INSTAT who moderated and helped facilitate the parallel sessions. Thank you very much. And we must not forget to thank all those who worked behind the scenes before and during, and who will be working even after the conference. Without them, we could not have conducted our virtual event with such ease. To all the subcommittees who worked tirelessly to make this event a success, the Secretariat, Scientific, Souvenir Program and Documentation, Publicity and Registration, Logistics and Finance, Creatives, Welcome, and Awards, thank you very much. A special shout out also to our ever active and game junior faculty members who are always willing and eager to help the school. Thank you so much. And of course, a special mention to Zar, Gian, Bea, and George for preparing and working on this event without any conditions or reservation. All your efforts are greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. Of course, I would like to say a special thank you to Dr. Iris Ivy Gauran, UP School of Statistics Director for Research and the overall chair of the 21st FSCon. Thank you so much. This was really a big task for you. And I thank you for taking the challenge, for stepping up, and for giving your best, as always. And to all the participants, I believe we have achieved so much from the 2-day online conference. The event is almost over, but it does not really stop here. There are indeed plenty to reflect upon as we rally to leave no Juan and Juana behind. Congratulations and thank you, everyone. See you in the next Faculty Student Conference. Stay safe and be blessed.
so much, Sir Lance, and Ma'am I as well. Ayun. So, Sir L.A., nasa last part na tayo ng ating program. Unfortunately, they won't be able to enjoy our faces anymore. Okay, so to formally end this year's Faculty Student Conference, may we call the Director of the UPLB Institute of Statistics, Dr. Liza Comilla.
Again, we have successfully held the annual Faculty Student Conference on Statistical Sciences. Congratulations to the School of Statistics, headed by its Dean, Dr. Ryan G. Lansangan, for hosting the event this year. Congratulations also to the plenary and parallel session speakers, and of course to the winners of the best papers. As we end the significant event, the Institute of Statistics would like to invite you to next year's conference. We're looking forward to your attendance, maybe virtually, but hopefully physically. Until then, I hope to see all of you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma'am Liza. Okay, so what are we going to do, Ma'am Miao? I think...
Ayun nga, sabi nga ni Ma'am Liza, di ba? Anong sabi ni Ma'am, she will see us next year.
Yeah, so I think this ends this year's Faculty Student Conference, and we hope to see you all next year in the UP Los Baños, hopefully, okay, for the 22nd Faculty Student Conference. So once again, this has been L.A. Almero
and Her Royal Gorgeousness, Miauri Bautista, now signing off. Music. May pa-music tayo. Anyway, before po tayo magsilayas, we will have a picture taking. Yes. All right. So to the panelists, may we request that you turn on your cameras. Let us see your beautiful faces one last time, especially sa ating mga behind the scene in charge. Ayan. So let's have a photo up. Okay. Meron ba magte-take ng photo, Sir L.A.? Ayun, ang gaganda at ang gwagwapo ng mga panelists natin.
Okay. Mami Al, can you do the counting?
Okay, so ready. 3, 2, 1, pose. Okay, one more time. Isa pa. Formal pa ulit to ha, formal. 1, 2, 3, pose. And isang walkie naman, ladies and gentlemen. 1, 2, 3. Ayan! Congratulations po, and thank you so much to all those who attended the 21st Faculty Student Conference. Hopefully, we will see you again next year. Sana naman, no? Sa UPLB, we'll be able to see each other's faces again sa UPLB. Alright? So, nagpaalam na tayo, so hindi na ulit kami magpapaalam. Thank you so much. Congratulations to the organizing team. UPSS, congratulations.
And congratulations. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you po. Bye-bye.
Dapat may background music tayo dito. Sir,
wala tayong background music.